Lethal. Lethal, you done did it now. When I tell you it is a special place, you know where for lethal. I'm talking about the driver. The driver of the van. I just got finished seeing some and reading some reports about lethal. Did you guys know it was a hit on Angie Stone? Yes, people got a big payday from Angie Stone leaving this earth. They had a hit on her, okay? Her friends are talking. Well, I don't even know if they're her real friends. I don't know. Because the thing about it is, why did it take them so long to speak out? I mean, it's starting to crack. When I'm telling you, all those people in that van that knew that she was about to leave this earth, that was a part of the sacrifice, things are not going the way they're supposed to go. People are not getting a big payday out like they thought they was because the evil, I don't even know what to call them at this point, but they got lied. They got bamboozled. And I don't even know why you thought they were going to be real with y'all. Look how they did Angie Stone. But y'all say, no, y'all not like Angie Stone. It's not going to happen to you. You thought you was different? Oh, no, no, no. We got to talk about this. And I want everybody to know, make sure you like this video. You know why? Because the higher ups are looking. They feel like, the big people, the Breakfast Club, the Neighborhood Talk, the Shade Room, all of them, they ain't talking about Angie Stone no more. So people don't care. No, 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 no. We still got a lot of Angie Stone people here that care and want to get justice. And honey, I don't know if you want to call this a protest or not. Okay. But it's more information getting on. And Stone Paxton said that keep her name alive. Stone Paxton said, no, no, no. We got to keep talking about this. And I don't know. That's why he keep on giving little crumbs, little crumbs, little crumbs, little crumbs to keep us talking about Angie Stone. So I have some reports up here. Are y'all doing good? Can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me? Press 3 if you can hear me, just to let you guys know you are at the messy sweet spot. Okay. I'm your host, Gigi. It's Gigi with the T. Gigi with the T. Gigi. What? Gigi. Okay. Yesterday, I was real nice and sweet with y'all. Today, I'm turning it up, baby. I'm turning it up. Okay. So, okay, I'm glad that you guys are here. Okay. I know you want me to take them shades off. Hold on. Hold on. Let me take the shades off. I had to put my shades on because it's the hater blockers. Okay. So let me go here to these reports that I have to read for you guys. Stone Paxton. You all know who Stone Paxton is, right? Press 3 if you know who Stone Paxton is. For you guys that don't know who Stone Paxton is, he is Angie Stone, a friend, co-worker, even though he did not show up at the funeral. And Stone, why you didn't show up at that funeral? Why you didn't speak out? I'm still curious about his answer about that. I guess he said he's in LA and he was too booked and busy to make it to the funeral. And I said, well, hell, they had 2 funerals, several funerals, different days. So maybe, I don't know, maybe it was the snakes there and they know that he knows some information. And I don't know, maybe he thought he was going to get gone too. I don't know. But I always been kind of curious about that, So let's get it on here. Stone Paxton, he confirms 4 anonymous insiders has contacted him with shocking information about the driver, Lethal Carter. He won't say his name. Other people won't say his name, but I'm going to say the name. Matter of fact, I'll put the picture up there because we ain't scared. We ain't never scared over here. Okay. So here it is. 4 people anonymously that are close friends with Angie Stone. And I don't know, these 4 people they had relations with Lethal because they said Lethal was a hoe. Yeah. They said Lethal gets around, honey. He is a hoe up in these streets. Okay. And they said connection to Angie Stone publishing. Allegedly, Lethal was doing business with Angie Stone. Did y'all know that? I didn't know that. I did not know that. Press one if you knew that Lethal was doing business with Angie Stone. Because we've been hearing a lot of relationship with Angie Stone and Lethal. First, y'all said that was her cousin. Then y'all said, well, it was just a random person that was driving that van. You know, now it's come find out that he worked with her and he got mad because she found out he was doing some shady deals behind her back, and he cut she I guess took him out of a deal, and he got mad. I'm not understanding. So when Angie cut this man out of the deal, did he have a poker face on? Was he like, oh, I understand you got to do that, best for your business? And did Angie Stone, did she feel bad about cutting his ass out? And because she felt bad about it, she was like, well, I do have a job, a position for you. Could you be my driver? Yeah. Well, this day we have a performance, and I know you need some money, and I was wondering if you could, be the driver. I don't know. Maybe she got Sharita to figure out, they need a driver. Maybe Sharita said, hey, Lethal, won't you drive us at this such and such? And not realizing, because when people put a poker face on, you don't know how they're really taking it. You could think that they take rejection fine because they got that poker face. But he could have been scheming and plotting. And this is what people are saying. That is one of his motives of doing deals with this Cole guy. Stone said it's another guy that's involved. He ain't going to say no names, but he going to give nicknames. They call him the Stone guy. And this Cole guy, I'm sorry, was doing situations with Lethal to plan to set Angie Stone up, okay? And he said now it's 4 people that have come to him. It says the insider claims the driver told them he was handling Angie's publishing. Okay. What? Lethal Carter was handling Angie's publishing. I mean, he is a criminal. What do he know about anything? What does he know about publishing? What is his experience? Who else did he publish for? Was Angie just getting any and everybody to publish for her and work for her? Was Angie mesmerized by that man because he had muscles? What's really going on here? Do you guys believe this? That Lethal Carter was publishing for Angie Stone, or was even in the talks? Like what? Like how do we get here? I'm not understanding that. That don't make sense to me. Okay, so I'm looking here. No, Stone said now the people on the bus was blaming booking the driver to each other. Well, listen here, Valance, hit that link and come up here and explain that shit to me, okay? Because some of you guys, you text and I'm not understanding the text. Come up here and explain it. Come on, boo. Come on up here, okay? Hit that link. Okay, I'm looking here. How these people sleeping at night? Listen, how they sleeping at night? Because they think they're gonna get that money, okay? And they all about money. That's how they sleeping at night. They don't have no morals, no values. Hell, they say Satan don't sleep at night. Does Satan sleep at night? He never sleeps. He's always roaming the earth to and from, seeing who he can destroy. Okay. So that's just how it is. They're not like you. They're not like Angie Stone. They're not like other individuals that have a heart and a conscience, that have discernment, that have conviction in their spirit that this is wrong. They don't have any conviction. Do you guys know a lot of people out here, you see them on the news. They taking people out. They're robbing people. They're doing all types of horrible things, and they want to get away with it. They don't want to be accountable, and they don't have any conviction. When I do shit wrong, I have conviction. I feel so sorry. Oh my God, I have regrets. Okay, listen. When I be a hoe out here fornicating, I feel so bad afterwards. I feel so bad. I said, oh God, please forgive me for fornicating. It wasn't even worth it, okay? Shit, if I'm gonna fornicate, I want it to be well worth the fornicate. You know what I mean? Okay. But they don't be asking for forgiveness after they fornicate, honey. They don't care. Okay. They have no conviction. They don't feel no wrongdoing or anything. They just continue to go on and do what they're doing. And they're doing horrible stuff like taking people out of here, robbing people, setting people up, scheming, betraying their own family and friends. They're just whoa, okay. And they just gonna keep going, and they don't want to be accountable. They feel like, hey, you snooze, you lose, and that's the name of the game, honey. Y'all, let's get these likes up. Let's let the elite know that we care about Angie Stone, that we're going to keep on talking about her, because they don't want us to talk about her. They want us to forget this ever even happened. That's what they want. That's what they want. So here it is. The driver claimed, the insider claimed, somebody telling Stone, the driver told them he was handling Angie's publishing and expected a 10 million cut from a deal allegedly worth over 100 million. So this 10 million cut, is it from the higher ups? Because we know Angie don't got that money to be giving anybody 10 million. So the 10 million cut had to be from the higher ups, and 100 mil had to be to get Angie out of here. So honey, this is a lot going on. I believe they were going to pay Lethal. I don't know if they paid him, and that's why he's so quiet. I'm not sure. But 10 mil, for him to do the job, to make sure he has executed the plan. No wonder it was 2 hours that did not come accounted for. What was he doing? Planning to get her body out of there, Yeah. All right. So here it is. Stone and his brother. Okay. Actually, Music Exec says that they were the ones helping Angie get her publishing back. Okay, not the driver. So Stone says that him and he has a brother, and was trying to get the publishing back. And matter of fact, I'm gonna put the video up here so we can all see. But these are some notes that I've taken from this video that I wanted to let you guys know. The insider says the driver introduced Angie to a so-called code guy. The driver, Lethal Carter, introduced Angie to a so-called code guy named Chester, who charged her $15,000 to handle ISRC and UPC metadata codes. I don't know what none of that means, y'all. All that metadata codes, but I don't trust nobody that Lethal would send me to. Lethal seemed like Ray and Pookie. That Lethal gives me Ray and Pookie in them. And it seemed like, hey, I can give you the hookup. Go to my homeboy. He can do good with the codes. You know what I'm saying? Okay. And Angie, she loves black men. She want to help black men up. The black man that got convicted, the black man that nobody cares about. She want to uplift these brothers. But see, that would get you messed up, right? Fooling around with Ray and Pookie and them. Okay. AKA Lethal. Okay, so Stone says he warned Angie the code guy was a scam. Booyah! Booyah! Didn't I tell you? Lethal is Ray and Pookie and them. You don't trust them. They always scheming and scamming. They don't care about you being a black woman. Hell, they count on you to be so naive so they can take whatever they can take from your butt, rob you blind. Okay. Ooh, man, Angie getting scammed from the white people, the black people, her sisters, her brothers. God damn. Okay. Man, everybody was scamming Miss Angie Stone. So Stone told Angie, he said, Angie, don't trust that Cole guy. He ain't nothing but a scam. He ain't nothing but a scam. But did Angie Stone listen? I don't know. It says here she allegedly stopped working with him. Oh, so she did listen. But I guess she was working with him at a time because she stopped working with him. It didn't say she never worked with him. She stopped. So therefore, she was working with this scammer guy for some time. But he had already taken her money. See that? See that? See that here? She don't got money to be wasting. Hell, she man, she don't got no money to be wasting on nothing. Okay, they done took 15K, and for me, if I was Angie, I would say, Lethal, that's on you. Lethal, run me my 15K because I trusted you and your homeboy. Okay, you brung that boy to me, but you know, Lethal, he ain't gonna take accountability for shit. You know what I'm saying? Sorry for cussing. But hell. Okay, so let's keep on going here. Despite being publicly ruled a tragic accident, okay, the public, they ruled as a tragic accident, the van. Stone says this is clearly a homicide. Okay, and this comes from Stone, a good friend of Angie Stone, a good insider of Angie Stone and her enemies in the music industry. He says this is clearly a homicide. Okay, now do y'all believe Stone? Do you believe that this Angie, somebody took her out of here? She was targeted? Press 1 if you do believe that. Press 4 if you don't. Now, you know the industry is looking and they cannot stand that we are figuring this stuff out, right? Right. Okay. So, and disturbed by the lack of media coverage, they said Stone, he is upset that a lot of the media people are not covering. I told y'all TMZ is not about to touch this. The neighborhood talk ain't gonna touch it. The shade room ain't gonna touch it. And all the other ones ain't gonna touch it. Okay? Where y'all at? Where y'all at? Huh? BET, where y'all at? CNN, where y'all at? Fox News, where y'all at? NBC, where y'all at? ABC, where y'all at? Where's everybody at? Where? So it says Stone calls on everyone to hashtag justice for Angie Stone. So that's what Stone want us to do. So can we get everybody to hashtag justice for Angie Stone? That's what Stone said to do. Okay. It says he released more shocking information in part 7. Okay. And he got some stuff to verify the police report. All right. All right. So let's talk about this. I do have the video. So let's look up. Oh, Magic. Hold on. I got to talk to my Magic and I'm going to put the video up here. Hey, Magic.
Hi, Gigi.
Hey, baby. How you doing, girl?
I'm in my own lane because I cannot keep up with you. You just every time, every look, you are just lit. I give you your flowers. Yeah, I try, but you 10 steps ahead of I can't, I can't do it, Gigi. I can't. I can't. I try, but I can't. So what I want to say is that they did Angie dirty. They did her dirty and they stole her style. And I know who did it because it's obvious. Because as I look back at her videos and things and the way she moved her hat to the side and all that, there's only one person that did that under her, and that's the chick that she sheltered and grew and showed her how to, lay her tracks down from the mall. I see the hat to the side. I see the movements. And I look back at Angie older videos and she's moving, bopping the same. So she stole her destiny. And Angie was owed over 100 million. I didn't even know she was owed that from Brew Marna, like Uptown Funk. I didn't even know that her group, The Sequence, is the original first rap females because they put salt and pepper. And that's okay, because that's from, New York, New York. But guess what? If it comes from, the originators, You have to give them their due diligence. They owe this woman millions. And I think it's way more than 100. You know why? Because the sampling. They sampled her stuff. She said Dr. Dre paid her. She said, look at Dre, look at, but you know what? They did her dirty because of her skin color. Because of her skin color. Because if she looked like you or she passed the paper bag test like me, she would have gotten all her, I believe she would not be where she's at right now. And I could tell just by listening to things this so-called man talking about, he's the cold dude. That was a setup to get $15,000. Ain't no such thing as no code. All you have to do is you have to have your lawyer go in, whether it's pro bono or not, and request the reports pro bono from everything that was gained and garnered from her music that was registered or not registered. But if she has everything written out, you could get all that from the Library of Congress. You can get it all from where it was supposed to be submitted to. She should not have to have hired someone. So that tells me whoever was the person that they said she hired and gave that $15,000 to was down with the same game. Because they came upon her, oh, we're going to help you. We're going to do this. Sweetheart, you didn't have to pay, she didn't have to pay $15,000. The Library of Congress, and I know because I'm an artist and I have music, you file it there. All she had to do was do a submission of all of her music. Have somebody submit everything, put it there, file it with her lawyer, say, these are all of my songs. What has been registered, what has not been registered. If this was not registered or if this was registered, who got paid? So let's run a report of who got paid for all these songs. Now, these are the songs that wasn't registered. Where did the money go and what happened? Simple, free.
You
Free.
right. And Magic, did you know that Lethal, the driver, introduced her to the cold guy that stolen $15,000 from her?
Yes, that's why I'm talking about this. That's exactly why I'm talking about this, because you don't need $15,000 to find out where your music is. All you need to do is contact the necessary agencies. You can contact ASCAP. You can contact, like I said, these other musical agencies, and they will be able to tell you, hey, this was registered on this date and this time. This is where the money's going. This is where your royalties are going. This is where it's a clean slate. But if you're not, and I kind of feel sad because I know back in the days, our people didn't know a lot. But Oprah did say on her show, you need to check the person that's checking that person and check that person to check that person so that you know where your money's at. So I think that her downfall was that she tried this too late in the game when she didn't have the energy to really go after what she needed to. She couldn't rely on her children because they just was looking for, like an easy way to go about this whole thing, get mommy's money. But it wasn't that easy. She needed her kids to be educated financially. She needed to be educated to be able to say, you know what, like perfect, like let's role play. You Angie, yeah, you're her, Angie Stone, and I'm the daughter. And you telling me, hey daughter, can you help me out? Because I'm looking for this. And I'm gonna walk through it and show exactly what I'm gonna tell you. So let's go.
Diamond,
Mommy, I think you need to go ahead.
Diamond, I want you to come here, okay? It's some things I'm trying to do. I'm trying to figure out where my money is going with my business, okay? And I need you to pick your big girl panties on and help me figure this out because this money I'm going to get is not just for me, it's for our family, it's for your daughter. So I need you to really focus up, Diamond, and help us get this money for our family.
Well, Mama, one thing I'm gonna tell you is that first thing I'm gonna go is go. I'm going to ASCAP, and then I'm gonna go to the agency for the music group, and I'm gonna get in everything that she was signing up for because it tells you where that money went. and I'm gonna have to find out if she had anything already signed. I gotta look into the publishing. I'm gonna
That
have to look into wherever the money's going into, because it needs to show me it's gonna show me the trail. It's gonna show me the trail. So anytime that, mama, let me just tell you that, just mama, when you write a song, right, you gotta copyright it.
Diamond, please. That's not how things are going. I haven't even told you what I need you to do yet. Okay. So,
Okay.
first thing you have to do is listen, sweetheart.
Mm-hmm.
Listen and follow directions. I'm going to
Okay.
tell you exactly what I need you to do and what I need you to research so you can be resourceful. Okay.
Okay.
Don't
Okay.
don't jump thinking you know what's going on because you really don't, sweetheart. I just need you to focus up.
Mm-hmm. I got you, Ma. And with that being said, I'm watching everything. I'm watching the timelines. I'm watching from when you put in this music, when you wrote it. I'm looking at the co-authors who wrote what. And what that's giving me is that this money is going that way. It's going to all these other people's, but nothing's coming in. Your residuals, your mechanicals, it's not coming in. So obviously somebody put a stop or they blocked you, and I gotta figure that out, why this money's not coming this way. Because if anything happens to you, we don't have nothing. We broke.
Okay. So I need you to start looking up some good attorneys, some lawyers that specialize on this case. And I
Mm-hmm.
want you to give me a good 10 options of the best. Okay. That's what you
Okay.
can do for me. And also, when you're looking at these attorneys, I want you to read the reviews. I want you to tell me, are they certified? How long have they been practicing? Who have they won for as far as the cases? Okay.
Okay.
All
I know
right.
exactly where to go. There is a site that is like a pro bono, and you could go on, you put in your information, they'll call you back.
Do this for Poo Poo and Ray Ray. Did you hear what I just said? I need you to do the research. I don't need you to pull nothing out your butt. I need you to do the research. You haven't done that research yet. Don't be lazy.
I will do the research, but pun intended, where I'm going to do my research is a reputable site that have lawyers that they will take on this case. They will take it on with high integrity. And when they're able to prove something, that is when they'll say, you know what, we're not going to charge you now because we have all this evidence, but we're gonna bring these people down to their toes and make them pay for it. And it has been happened before, and they're reputable.
With Diamond, just put that name on a list, okay? But I need you to do the research. Put that name
Okay.
on the side. I'm going to look into that too, sweetheart, okay? I'm not
All right,
ignoring,
Mom.
but I just need you to follow directions.
I will, Mom.
Okay.
I promise you. I'm gonna make you proud of me one
All right. So that's the role play.
day.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Go cry.
You're gonna be so proud of me. Never drink it ever again. That glass, I put it down. It's over, Mom.
Diamond, another thing I need you to do that's going to make me proud. Take your ass to the dentist and fix them teeth, okay? I'm so tired of looking at you with them snagger tooths and you can't talk right. You want to cover your mouth. You have a daughter that's looking up to you, Diamond. You got to do right. You got to do right. You are a
I don't
role
know.
model, whether
I
you
didn't
like.
have time to do that because every time I looked at it, I remembered you. And I remember that night, and I just felt like, that was a way that I could remember you by.
No, 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 sweetheart. I don't want to remember you like that. Okay. You are a beautiful girl, Diamond. You're so gorgeous and you're so talented. I want you to get right. So please, while you're doing this research, also research for some good dentists. Okay. Don't have
Mom, promise.
anybody going up in your mouth. Look for a good dentist that can get your teeth together. You have a daughter that's looking up to you. Presentation matters in this world. Okay? You're my daughter. I want you to be
Mom,
right. I want you to be able to smile with your daughter on her pictures. You know? It shouldn't be where you covering up and you're ashamed or you're insecure. There's too many dentists out here. It's too many things that you can do to fix it. Come on now. You get your nails done, you get your wigs done, get your teeth done.
Mom, I will. I'm do it. Thank you.
All right, get out my face. Get out my face.
Okay.
Get out my face. All right, you guys, that was role play. Brought to you by Magic. That was Magic idea. Magic. Magic.
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. Uh-huh. So what did you want us what did you want us to see?
I just want everyone to know that there's so many parts to this story that we're building these blocks, right? They have it now that it's a homicide for this woman. But the sad part is that as we go back and we look at everything going back to Sam Cooke, going back, let's go back to the 60s, 70s. Our people never had a chance to put things in place for the wealth to pass down and trickle down to their families. For some reason, these people that are in I say authority, they have been able to lock in these life insurance policies, lock in the amount of money. They capture everything that is supposed to be for the families, and it goes into their family, into their estate. I'm gonna tell you one thing, Gigi. I had a dream one night, and I woke up and I was like, wow, I saw literally like the mishaps and the injustice in this world. I saw some people waking up on one side of the world with estates, and I saw other people waking up with bondage, waking up in bondage, waking up bankrupt. And then I saw the other side with the states, and the states were lit up with lights. It's like when you're about to land in the airplane and you see everything lit up, the coastline. It's like, oh, all those people on the other side, they have estates from our people. But on here, we're lacking. We have nothing.
All right. Frankie, what do you have to say? Frankie, are you there?
Yeah, yeah, I'm here. How you guys doing? Let me oh there we go. How you guys doing?
Good.
Hey, Frankie.
Shout out to you. I'm happy I caught it live. I love your show. And you are such a straight up person. I really love you, baby. I really, really love you. And I'm happy I caught you. I just wanted to say, man, I'm from Trenton, New Jersey. I live out here in Hollywood now, in the midst of this Hollywood. And I'm 51. And I noticed ever since we was coming up, everybody wanted to get in the industry. They want to get signed. I think signed is is a term for slavery, you know. And some of us we act I'm just speaking of even hip hop, like this, all that's our era. That when they started taking from the culture, and then we never learned, we never decided to learn the business, and it's still going on. It's going on now with the digital world and pop and these YouTubes and everything. We fail to learn the business. Rest in peace, Angie Stone. I mean, you know, and to her family, and she admitted that she just didn't, know. But that's all. I just wanted to drop my 2 cents and say that's very important that we learn the business. Music, the industry is only like 10% of talent. The rest of it is all business. And we get on our high horse sometimes because we're in the industry and really they have handlers. Like we never really get into learning the business. And I think that's essential. And we've put a lot of people, kids through college, and we can't pass down shit to our youth. And that's been an ongoing problem, and it's still a problem.
You're absolutely right.
And I will have to say this. I feel like there's so many of us, we want attention so much. We want to be seen. Look at me. Look at me. You
Right,
know?
right,
Uh, and I think that's possibly everybody want to do the same thing. It's
right.
no diversity. The mindset is so one track minded. Everybody want to be the center of
Hmm.
attention. But
Hmm.
what about being the background? What about being the writer? What about being the creator? What about being
Absolutely.
the director? Everybody wants to be a model and they feel like, hey, I'm a model, I'm seen. But to
Hmm.
me, it's like you're nothing but a prop. You know,
Hmm.
as a model, that's
Hmm.
just what you are. You are prop
Hmm.
sale, whatever the people are pushing.
Hmm.
You don't have any creativity. You
Right.
can't. You don't have no direction of
Right.
how it's going to go. You have no ownership, no control. So it seems like a lot of individuals, they just want to be the star.
That's
You know,
right.
be the head slave of the ship.
That's right. Mm-hmm.
Look at me.
Yep.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if it's from broken homes, from them not getting attention from their father because their father was not there, from them not getting attention from their mom because their mom is always working, or what. Now, Magic, go ahead.
Okay, thanks, Gigi. So what I could say is, like honestly, on my end, I was blessed to have learned music at an early age and took piano lessons. My parents were not from America, so they gave us what they didn't have. So I was able to do piano lessons, dance classing, ballet, all these types of things, like, in the urban areas, and people like, what? I'm playing volleyball. It's like things happen and they're not used to it, and I get it. But what I can say is that you should be rewarded for whatever you are able to input into this world, based on whatever talent you have, or based on whatever you're able to contribute to make this place a better place. Because it's dark and gray in certain areas. And depending on where you're from, not everybody gets that same energy. So I feel like some people get depleted of it. Some people have access to it. It's just like the sun, vitamin D. You get, like, some people don't get it if they're in the north. Some people mostly get in the south. But I think that we're here as beings on this planet to share and to be able to increase and help each other. We're not here to take each other down or steal from each other, whether it's our intellectual properties or what we've been blessed with our natural talents. And what's happening in the music industry is that we're seeing that this has been a perpetuated stance going on. Let's go back to the 50s and 60s and coming forward. Let's look back at our people. They've all been did dirty. None of them have come out scathed. They've all come out with either a title, either something that they, did something sinister. And what I would say is that all can basically incubate is that they all have lost their all of their intellectual properties. They've lost, they can't pass anything down, their estates.
Magic, hold
All
on.
of their estates.
Sorry to cut you off, but this person just keeps on coming in my head. Michael Jordan.
Okay.
I mean,
The
he has his everything, right? Or am
He
I getting
does, and I don't know what candle he's lighting or whatever
Well,
he's engaged in the dark. But what I could tell you is that the reason he probably is still in rotation is because of so much, I would say, bloodshed. Though every time a sneaker comes out, there's a sacrifice.
oh, can I just add, y'all, that you said the music industry, but it's in every industry, I say. I did 2 years ago, I did a documentary called Jew Black 2. It's on Fantastic Media Group. And it's on Amazon, but you should watch it on Fantastic Media Group. That's my own network. But anyway, and it talks about how back in the 20s, even before then, we had our own Hollywood. We had our own studios in Chicago before Hollywood had Hollywood studios. In fact, um, black people weren't even allowed to work with white people back then. If we soared, we did well. Even in, you mentioned Michael Jordan. Well, Michael Jordan also was a private prisoner. He owned private prisons as well. So this is the business. America is a business. It's a corporation, and that's what it is. If you don't learn this business or know any of the business, then you are making yourself up to be a slave
But
to
can I
this.
tell you something? We didn't know that. Social media right now is exposed. Social media, like they call it, like the web, is exposing everything because we're able to now reach out to each other, domestically, socially, internationally. We're
Well,
able to now put the pieces of the puzzle together, because
when
I
you
can
say
tell you
we
now,
didn't know
a
that,
lot
when
of
you say
people in
we didn't know that,
Baltimore, huh?
when you say we didn't know that, what do you mean?
All right, so what you're saying now about Jordan, a lot of
Mhm.
people didn't know that about in New York. I'm all right. So let me just clarify what I'm trying to say to you
Okay.
is that what happens in New York what happens in Baltimore, what happens in any states in America. First of all, the news is different. That's why it's called television, right?
Right.
The, the internet just came out recently, so we can't scratch that off. So what I'm saying is that unless you have family or somebody in that state, or if it's announced, look, Flint, Michigan, when they done made the water turn to rust and had all these people, you understand? Detroit, we are not getting information in states or in countries in different situations where our people are. Okay, they have us disconnected. So when you come on now and you say something now, this is new to us because we didn't know it before. Just like if I was to tell you something now that happened in Spanish Harlem or something, you'd be like, "Oh, I didn't know about that." That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Hold on, wait. I just want to say thank you so much, okay, to 67-year-old stalker. That is an interesting name. Donated $10 and $10 and $20. Thank you, 67-year-old stalker. Okay, keep on bringing that money. Okay, I appreciate it. I just hope you don't stalk nobody. Shit, that's scary as hell, right?
Right.
Yeah, no one wants a stalker.
No, but I feel what you're saying when you talk about Flint and region. That's like regional. That's locational shit. I went to school in Long Island, so I'm pretty much in both sides of the coast. And I guess it depends on the human being, because naturally humans are egotistical naturally, and maybe it's because I came up in the nation of gods and earth. I don't know, but I've always been curious, and that human being has to seek higher self. If you're the type of human being that's played by television, then you have to seek higher self. Everybody have to do their own work. So I wouldn't say that we didn't know. Maybe some people didn't know. Some people, but I know in my circle, a lot of people was very versed in how this business goes, especially with these athletes and artists and shit. Excuse my French. And we also have to pay attention because now the colleges are able to make money. So it's always a corporation, and this corporation's been doing this since the Eli with the cotton gin. So if we study how they've been doing it for centuries, there's nothing new. There's nothing new under the sun. They've been doing it now. They're doing the same thing. They just keep us putting new wool over our eyes, You know.
All right. So I want to circle back to Angie. I'm going to play the video by Stone in just 1 second. It says Angie Stone and Diamond appeared on TD Jake's show after the fight. Angie mentioned sending her daughter to college, highlighting how smart she was. Something happened to Diamond. Well, people keep saying that the reason why she covered her mouth because she's on them sugar boogers. They said those sugar boogers will rot your teeth out. I don't know. I've never had no sugar boogers. I said no to drugs, okay?
It will. And she has no teeth. That's why I was covering my mouth when we were role playing, because I was acting like her. She has no teeth, no upper teeth in the upper room.
I don't know how she got hooked on those things. I don't know if she was hanging around D'Angelo. Was D'Angelo babysitting her one day and she saw D'Angelo doing it. Then she started doing it. I'm not sure. Okay. I don't think Michael is missing any teeth. Okay. Teeth for that fried chicken, the ribs. Okay. Hell no. So I tell you what. All right, so if you guys don't mind, let's react to Stone. What's his name? Stone. Let me bring this up here. All right, I'm gonna play. I'm gonna mute myself so you guys won't hear the echo. Well, let me see. Do you guys hear echo? I'm gonna try to play it and leave my mic on. Press 1 if you hear echo, okay? I'm gonna fast forward this intro. I don't need to see this.
On to this subject of what the last video, what I was talking about when I said it was something deep I had to talk to you guys about. First of all, let me say thank you to all you guys that have been sharing nothing but the positive messages of the videos that I've been posting. not the ones that have been changing the narrative of what I'm talking about. Okay, I appreciate you guys for that. And thank you for all of you that have shown love to the legacy and the memory.
Do you hear any echo from my end?
I don't hear the echo. Sound clear.
Okay. People in the comment section, do you guys hear any echo? Tell me if you hear echo and say you don't hear any echo. Now, can we get into his wardrobe? Child, he dressed like Ashton at the funeral. He's so, is that Louis Vuitton? Okay. Very, I guess, I don't know if this is LA. Okay, you guys don't hear it. Good. You guys don't hear any echo. But very bling blingy. But let's go.
Of Angie Stone. I need you to make sure that you hashtag justice for Angie Stone. Hashtag justice for Angie Stone, you guys. Make sure you do that, you guys. It's important. Let's create this movement and keep this movement alive because she deserves justice, you guys. As simple as that. So let me get into the last ending part of the last video, part 5, when I was talking about.
Okay, I got a question. Magic, is he going to the cops with this information too?
No, absolutely not. He speaks in riddles, and I'm over him. I don't trust him.
Yeah. Why is
I do not trust him.
Hey, you guys, I think this is a homicide. This is what I'm hearing. This is what is he saying that he can't trust the cops because the cops is in with it too? Why isn't he going to the cops?
Yep.
Frankie, why he's not going to the cops?
Here's what I say in most of these cases. I believe that there are no heroes. I don't know, and nobody can sit here and really say that they know, but I just know that there are no heroes, and that's sad, especially with all these women that's having so many issues and all these unalivings. There's no freaking heroes. Maybe the police, or maybe they're tainted. I mean, the police aren't all on the up and up either,
Yeah, well, about on this case, where a lot of people agree with Magic. They say they don't trust this guy, Stone, and he speaks in riddles.
Something deep that someone had told me, and this is not hearsay. I've been getting a couple emails and stuff and texts and stuff off of my my Instagram. I actually took my number off Instagram. That's how many messages I've been getting from people in TikTok. And I took it off Instagram because it's just a bit much, you guys, for me, right? So I took it off of there. But before I took my number off of Instagram, I ended up getting some emails from the anonymous people, more than one, like 4 anonymous people. They emailed me. It's been interesting, this whole situation, because Angie's been gone about maybe 2-3 weeks.
So the anonymous people are some random people he didn't even know. See, I thought it would be some anonymous people that he kind of knew in the industry that was talking, that was an insider. But look like these some random ass strangers, they plants for all he knows, right, Magic?
Right.
Yeah, but he's saying people are just randomly, he said it's 4 people. They randomly just started talking to him and saying, I'm like, is this like ghost, like shadow box? Like, I don't understand. Like, this dude cannot be trusted. And I stopped trusting him and believing in whatever he was saying when he first started. And he says, oh, the second party has millions, and we were working on transferring her residency to Vegas. So if this person had all this money, it would not have been anything said. You would have already had that emotion. She would have never performed where she performed because she would have been in Vegas. You would have told, listen, you don't need to do that show. We got you. Homeboy got over $3 whatever million. You don't have to even. Angie would have never had to do that show because they would have got the residency together. Priority number 1. Don't do any show. Get you out here to Vegas, and then we'll talk about the shows. But then how are you saying you represented her and she signed a contract, but she gave out $15 million and sorry, 15,000. And you said, who did you give it to? Oh, the Code Crew. They were all playing with her and messing with her mind because they knew that she needed help. And everybody that was around her at that time, the majority of those people did her dirty.
Mm.
All right, we're gonna come back to Stone, but guess what? We got Puzzle in the house. Hey, Puzzle, haven't
What's up?
seen you in a while, girl. Good to see
Man, I've been
you.
so busy.
Hey, I know you
Yeah.
have busy bee, busy
Yes.
bee.
Yes. I like this blonde hair.
Thank you, Puzzle.
Gigi be
What's
doing
up,
it.
Magic?
Gigi, nobody can mess with. Hey, how you doing, Puzzle?
Good.
Nobody. I can't even mess with. I try on a couple of times, but I'm like, damn. I come back. You saw the pink hair with the clips. I said, all right, I'm done. Gigi,
Yes.
I'm not. Every once in a blue moon, I could try, but Gigi is top of the notch. Yeah, she
Oh,
gets her flowers. Yep.
thank you so much. You not eating today, Puzzle?
Nah, I'm not eating that tonight. I already ate.
So, what's your thoughts, Puzzle? What is going on in your head concerning this issue? I mean, this situation with Angie Stone.
You know what? I've been watching your videos the past couple of days when late at night. I think what bothers me the most is just that before the incident could even occur, they were already preparing for NDAs, for making money. Also, when I listened to her son, he said this was the one time he wasn't with her. And that's because they caught him when he was vulnerable, you know? And unfortunately, if he's the one that would normally protect her, they knew, all right, let's see where Mike is going to be. If Mike is not going to be there, then we're good. But it's just so funny to me because, and I said this a long time ago, like, I get it, everybody's saying,
Keep talking, but I want to put something inside there when you just
okay.
said that. So, Puzzle, you know that Michael, he's in works with this rap company, and they are saying that the signals, damn, signals. What is it? Signals? Not signals. God damn it!
Hmm. I think you said it right the first time.
What? Say it again.
Are you
Sigma.
saying
Is it the
Sigmas?
Sigma?
No, I'm getting old. Symbols.
Symbol.
The symbol. What's up, Keontae?
Hey, Bookie Butt.
With the symbols of the company that he's rapping for, they're devil horns upside down. And I
Mm-hmm.
believe they got in his ear say, hey, man, I want to throw a party for you on your birthday, man. It's going to be lit,
Mm-hmm.
man. You know, and then they have the other side that was calling Angie and say, hey, we got a performance for you, and it's a good
Mm-hmm.
you know you need it. Come on, do it. So they was working the scene from that
Mm-hmm.
side to that side. That's what I believe. But go ahead, Puzzle.
It's just funny though. People are willing to sacrifice everything for money. And I know, oh my goodness, what was his name? The guy that was that you played his video the other day, and he was saying, you're in cahoots with these people, but you hadn't even got the money yet. And there's no guarantee that you're going to get it. And so the egg is pretty much on your face, but it is so sad the day that you all can sell your soul for someone that has been so good to you. Now, it all comes back at you. All of that shit gonna come back on them. But what really bugs me, and I heard you talking Magic Stoney, it's something about him that don't add up with that damn anyway. It's something about him that doesn't feel good
Fact.
to me. I get
No
that
fact.
he's disclosing stuff, but it's something funny about if you were that bold, say a name, expose them for what it is, because if it's not about the money for you, because apparently you're saying I can do this, I can do that. But I hate when a person kind of skips over the main and more specific details, but they say they know. Okay, it's been going on since March 1st. Today's the 27th. You hadn't dropped one name, no initial, nothing.
But
And
what got
this,
me to
mhm,
piggyback on what you're saying, what got me is that he started saying now that the second that she was signed to them and the second person have millions, and there's no reason for anything to happen. That's what gave me the red light. Because and he said that also he was gonna put up his home for her. And now he's coming out saying, oh, he told her, why did you give this person $15,000 according to code guy? I'm, you know what? If she was taught that, so that tells me, in all retrospect, she's been telling you about issues she's been having from day
mhm,
one. So if you were
mhm,
that person that had that money behind the scenes with that millionaire dude that she signed to, she would have never went to the code guy. to
Mm-hmm.
give him 15,000. And then you said,
Mm-hmm.
oh, come on, Stony, why you went and gave 15,000? Because you wasn't helping her.
You weren't
And
helping
she
her.
probably didn't sign. And that person that you're saying is a millionaire that you're in cahoots with was a lie. They
Bullshit.
were all trying to siphon money from this woman, and they set her up, and they were
Mm-hmm.
all in cahoots with it, and they took her out.
You know what's so funny though? You know how you have those suicide bombers that do like all of these crazy things? I feel
Hmm.
like Lethal is not smart enough to advocate for himself because I feel like, all right, Lethal, if you're in on it, we're gonna give you A, B, and Z. And don't you worry. You know how you had them old gangsters back in the day, like
Yeah,
take the case. When you come out, we gonna have your money, right?
you got
Nah,
to.
buddy, it don't work that way. You're not worth that much. And that's what's funny to me. There, you hear all of these things, NDA money. What have you gotten? Because if it was that serious, it would be evident. The reality is so many people intermingled in what's going on that it's
Hmm.
like if I do say something, then we're going to contradict one another because we haven't had an opportunity to really say what it looked like, what happened. The problem is, and this is the biggest issue, they made the crash scene look so fatal, and now all of this contradicting evidence has come out, and it's like, wait a minute, because the very first thing everybody thought, you got to be honest with yourself, when you heard about the crash, you were like, well, who was in the van with her? When you heard it was 8 other people, you like, well, who else died?
Yep.
Nobody. So when you
Yep.
heard that, automatically you like, well, are they ghosts? Like how the hell did you get out of this? You got hit by 18 wheeler. How is so that was the first thing. And then there was somebody driving the van. There was a single car accident. Nobody got injured. 2 hours came up missing. That's the other thing where you're like, that doesn't make sense. And then the
Nope.
third thing was, here comes Courtney. She's this archangel, I guess, and I'm being sarcastic. She helps her, moves it to the side. Now she got hit by a truck, but you got blown back and you miraculously got away. And then the fourth thing was, oh, the trucker is now it just doesn't make sense. Crash
Nope.
sites make sense. Nobody's been arrested. There's been no negligent homicide. Nothing. And
Hmm.
so for me, it just all went bad and nobody knows what to say. They don't know how to justify it. So now people treat it like, oh, you all are conspiracy theorists. That's not a conspiracy theorist. That's a fact. That didn't happen the
Yep.
way that you're saying it happened.
It
And
did
if we
not.
don't continue to talk about it, then people, like I said before, they're going to take what mainstream media says and say, oh, she got hit by 18 wheeler. That doesn't make sense. There's no
But if she
validity
got
in
hit
that.
by 18 wheeler, how come her body was together in a casket and they made her smile? They made her smile in the mortuary. They put her face to smile. If she got
Actually,
hit,
you know, her glam squad did that. Her makeup artist and her hairstylist, they
but
actually put her together.
nobody could do that. If you get hit with an 18 wheeler, you're gonna be discombobulated. You're gonna be done.
Period.
They can't put you back together like a
Period.
gingerbread man or woman.
Period. Period.
Your
So
body's
I
gonna be scattered, scraped on the
and
ground,
and
mush,
I'm sorry.
mashed.
What color is blood? It's red. Did y'all see any blood? I didn't see.
No,
Did
nothing
and
looked
the other
broken or
thing
nothing.
is, did you see any articles of clothing? Did you see any shoes? You
Nothing. That's
saw
why I said
nothing.
I think after her show they took her out.
I think Gigi said she thought somebody, because Gigi, you were saying on one show, maybe somebody actually took her away from the scene and then maybe after, maybe they kidnapped her or something. We talked about that like a week or so ago. And it's starting to make
I
sense
can tell
because
you how we came up with that conclusion. First, they came out with one report. Do you guys
mm-hmm,
remember that? But the
mm-hmm,
first
Hmm.
report, it didn't have Angie Stone name on the
mm-hmm,
report.
mm-hmm,
Wasn't that strange? And it didn't
Yep.
have any fatalities on the first
mm-hmm,
report. Wasn't that
mm-hmm,
strange? So it seems
Hmm.
like nobody died on the scene and Angie was
mm-hmm.
not even there. That was the first
Exactly.
report. So people had in their mind that when the police showed up at 4:55 a.m., Angie was not on site because they
Nope.
have to name everybody that's on that site. And we
Mm-hmm,
know the crash started at 4:25 a.m. allegedly.
mm-hmm,
So
Mm-hmm.
between 4:25 a.m. and 4:55 a.m., Angie Stone was moved.
That's
We
right.
do know that Courtney moved Angie Stone, according to her. She said she didn't say her name, but everybody assumed it was Angie Stone. And when we did say it was Angie Stone, she didn't come out and say, "You guys, no, it was not Angie Stone." She never corrected it. She never said, "I'm not talking about Angie Stone," when everybody assumed she was talking about Angie
Mm-hmm.
Stone.
Mm-hmm.
So she was the last person allegedly that we knew that had contact with her.
Mm-hmm.
So where would she go? What at what time did Angie Stone pass away?
Exactly.
Where did she pass away at? Where did she pass away from? Then
Yep.
a couple of days later, they came out with another report saying that it's one fatality, that Angie Stone flew out the van and then she got ran and hit over. It was kind of a bogus second
No.
report that a lot of people did not believe.
Mm-mm.
So, it's a lot of holes, and it's so frustrating that Michael and Diamond, kids of Angie Stone, hear and see these reports, I'm assuming, and they're just okay with this. They don't have
Mm-hmm.
anything to say. They're not upset. They're not trying to get the people to help them on their side. They're just
Right.
quiet as if they have been compromised themselves.
Mm-hmm.
They're still grieving. They're not understanding. But I don't know. If somebody took my mama out of here and I
Hey.
It's on.
exactly
It's
the
on.
I don't know exactly who took her to the hospital. It's so many goddamn hoes about my mama.
Yeah.
I'm gonna cause HELL. I
That's
want
right.
Fact.
answers from
Fact.
all the passengers.
Mm-hmm.
What in the hell happened to my mama on there? What
But you know what?
happened to that van? Wait, how did the van even start to flip? First of all,
It didn't flip.
somebody better tell me some answers. I'm talking to Lethal. Homie, come on. We gotta talk. Let's go for a ride. I want to know what's going on. I even take him to dinner. Can I take you
But
to
where's
dinner?
Lethal now? Where's he at now?
I
No,
don't
Where's
know.
Magic.
But
Lethal?
Magic. Where's
I
Courtney?
was a
Where's
child of
Courtney
Angie
all of a sudden?
Stone. I
Yeah,
played
where are all these people
good.
that was in the van with her? Where are all these people that know everybody's quiet? It's silent. Everything is silent mode. This is what I don't like. And then you had one dude went on the stage. He was there with Tony Braxton. I'm like, oh,
With that
he
fake
had
ass
on
neck
type of
brace.
like brace on his neck. Come on. But you're not talking. But you're going to another show and you're not talking. I don't trust none of them. They
But you
all were
know
in
what?
cahoots together because guess what? You know what I'm thinking?
Huh?
Meanwhile, back at the ranch, all these people in cahoots are the people that sampled all her songs. They all owed her money. They owed her millions, and a lot of them sample her songs. And they're like, "Yo, we gotta. How we gonna get out of here?" And they was like, "Yo, I could do it. I could try it. I could do it." But they all were in cahoots with, like she said, Universal Records and Clive Davis. She said that out of her mouth.
It's, I think
Uh,
what's crazy. I think what's crazier though is there's just no validity to anything.
no,
There's no validity to any. For
quiet as
example, I just
cat.
have to give an example. So this was a highway accident. Today, they
Yeah.
had Yellow Beezy's case in Dallas, regarding Mo 3. First thing the attorney showed was the video of them on the highway and him getting out doing what he did.
Mhm.
And that registered with me today. And I was like, now, common sense says you haven't seen any camera footage other than what we saw from a different mile marker. You no media. Remember, I said Angie Stone at the hospital. You don't think some black folks up in there like, girl, Angie Stone over in room A, B, and Z, or girl, they just wrapped up. Nothing. Come on now. I don't want to hear this crap about people that know Angie Stone. You the hell knew who Angie Stone was. And you didn't need but one black person for that to girl, mama. You know who had an accident? Girl, do you know who at the hospital?
Yep.
It just takes one person. You have not seen any media. Y'all tell me right now, I'll wait. When have you heard about a tragic accident or killing of a celebrity and you didn't see it all over the World Wide Web,
I
all over
said
the
that.
TV?
I said that. I said that.
Yeah,
I haven't
it's
heard
been
it. I'm
very
sorry.
quiet. It's been very quiet.
It's been extremely quiet.
It's
It's been
But
cricket.
I tell you what, it ain't no fun when the rabbit got the gun. And baby, when it hit the fan, I'ma be front and center.
girl.
Cause it ain't nothing but lies and deceit.
You know what it
I told
reminds me of, Keontae? It's like
what?
Gigi got us playing the game Clue. You got to
Yeah,
figure out who did it in what room with what weapon.
yep,
That's what I feel
yep.
like we're doing right now. We're just
Yeah,
trying to play Clue. And it's like, I feel like we're getting close. And every time we piece the puzzle together, something comes out and it's like, huh. But it just doesn't make sense. And what we're not allowing is for them to kind of mind fuck us a little bit by making us think something that's really not true. You're actually, we're speaking truth to power by saying, I got enough common sense to know that doesn't make sense. So we know that's a lie. But the reality is, and people are like, leave it alone. You can't leave something like that alone when it does not make sense. You just can't.
yeah.
Nothing about
Yeah.
this makes sense. There's no dots to be connected, there are no valid puzzle pieces. All of this is just crazy. And everybody quiet now. And you worried about some money. And like that gentleman said the other day on the video you showed, Gigi, y'all probably ain't gonna even get that money. They played y'all like some fiddles, and y'all sitting here looking like some dumbasses. And as black people, we should be empowering each other. This lady was a positive figure. Now, I didn't know Angie Stone personally. I'm sure she had her faults, but she seemed pretty genuine and loving. And I don't understand how all of you all, being her entourage, maybe you were a backup singer, a band member, whatever you did, I don't understand how you can make that make sense. I just don't.
Well, I told you
What
before, Puzzle. I said if this is what loving me looks like, what happens when you don't like me?
Baby.
But what I can tell you is that she made a positive impact on my life as a child. And there was a moment when I was in a very dark space and a song came on the radio and I will never forget. And when it started coming on, it was, I'm all cried out and there's
Hmm.
no more rain in this house. And I promise you, I needed to hear that for that moment. So I
Hmm.
thank her for her spiritual gifts that she brought to my life. Because as a teenager, I needed it for that moment. And when the song went off, I was like, that song was so beautiful. What the hell was that? I had no idea about her. I didn't even know anything about her talents about this woman. And then later on in life, I would say 15 years later, a good friend of mine, she had a party event and then the song came on again. She loved Angie Stone and she played. And I said, oh. So then I had like a repass, like in my mind. I thought back to that teenage moment. I said, that's the song. I haven't heard this song in over 50 something years. And I felt like a little child being wrapped
Hmm.
around like an angel holding me. I felt
Hmm.
so good. Like, no matter what happens, stay strong, my sister. I love you. You're going to be all right. So I thank Angie for what she did to me with her music in my life.
Yeah, and she,
I
you
Well,
know
what
thank
what?
I
her
can
for it.
One of my
what I
favorite
can say is,
shows was.
I'm
Oh,
sorry,
I'm
Puzzle.
sorry, Keontae. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just getting ready to say what I can say is the music that we
Hmm.
had growing up before we got here, those songs solidified our lives, right?
Hmm.
Those songs
Hmm.
Yes.
you can remember where you were in high school. You can remember who your first boyfriend was. You can
Yes.
remember if you were at a party. You can remember all those things. And a lot of this music that they're playing now, I said these kids not gonna be able to say, uh, I remember I was at this party and Sexy Red came on. Like they're not gonna have those same memories,
No, they
that we
are
were
going to have
able.
memories. They are. They're going to be saying, oh, I went to this person's funeral.
Yeah,
That's it.
But
that's
We have
crazy.
memories that have life, that
Guess
brought
what?
life
Hmm.
to us, that brought hope, that brought, determination to move forward. They're having things that's taking
hmm,
them back to the dark side and where
yeah,
people are getting depleted. It's unfortunate, but that's what's happening. And it's
What
rap music.
what I want to say about this is who is really out there fighting for Angie Stone? I don't have faith that her son and her daughter feel like anything is wrong. Who is fighting for Angie Stone? Everybody that she had around her was fake and phony. Yes, Tyler Perry came out here and he promised us that he was going to fight on her behalf. But Monique came out and said he is not to be trusted. So, again, who is going to fight for her that has that power and that influence to go against this upper people?
yeah.
Who? Who?
But you know what, Gigi? I get tired of people like Tyler Perry and Stoney. They give an
Mhm.
inspirational word and make you feel real good in the moment, but they don't do anything to dot the I's and cross the T's. You can't take a few moments and use your platform for good only for it to fall on deaf ears. If you were really about your business, then you don't actually have to get in front of anybody to publicize it. You're gonna go out there and get it. And for
Fact.
everybody that said they had her back, she's dead and gone. I don't see nobody fighting. I hear a lot of shit that's making them a lot of money and getting them a lot of views, but nobody's doing anything additional to really say, you know what? Let's make sure we go out and figure out what happens. It's a bunch of cowards in this industry. And as long as they're making money, wonderful. And as long as it doesn't come close to them, that's even better.
Mhm.
But the moment something happened to them, they're going to be singing the same song. But see, everybody pointing fingers, like everybody be like, oh, Monique this, oh, Monique that. Unfortunately, just like Angie Stone, they have to take every opportunity that they're given to try to advocate for themselves, even if it's not the right timing. But then you get these people like Tyler Perry that's worth millions or billions at this point, and they can say whatever because let's be honest, how did he really get where he is? See, sometimes you got to sell something out and do something to get there. So he can do a lot of talking because he play over a lot of people. Stony, he can say whatever he wants right now because Angie can't, she can't validate anything he's saying. But let's be honest, after all of the talk and it fades away, what have you really done? What kind of justice have you gotten there? You won't even tell us the truth because a lot of them know what happened. They may be sitting here saying they on her side, but I get the feeling they all sitting in the same room making the same decisions. And now that she's gone, it's like, now how many of you all are going to stand up and make it seem like you have her back? Because we can't all be against her. I'll do it. I'll pay for it. I'll do it. I'm going to get up there and give an inspirational word. But you ain't doing nothing else. You just bumping your gum. So shut up. Unless you're going to go out here and really get some justice, I don't want to hear that. I'm so tired of these people with that, especially when you talk about black power. There's no black power in knowing all of these black folks was with this lady when she succumbed to whatever caused her death, and y'all not saying nothing. That's called cowards. That's bullcrap. It ain't enough money in the world. Like you said, Gigi, if it was my mama, I'm gonna turn this world over. Babe, I'm gonna tear all this shit up. I don't care. But
Father, they knew. They
yeah, they
knew
did.
that
Yeah.
Angie Stone did not have anybody there to protect her. They
Mhm.
knew that Angie Stone, all those so-called people that she trusted, was
Mhm.
fake and phony,
Mhm.
and all of them
Mhm.
can be bought out.
Mhm.
When certain people come to attack you and they realize you have real protection, you
Yep.
got real people that's going to come after them and retaliate with some real power, they're
Mhm.
going to think twice before they come after you. But
Mhm.
people like Angie Stone, they feel like, oh, this is an easy target. We can
Mhm.
get her out of here. Ain't nobody going to say shit. Diamond on drugs somewhere. Michael, he trying to be with
Mhm.
us. He trying to be down with us.
Mhm.
Okay, so we ain't got to worry about him. He don't got the smarts, and everybody else can be bought out. Okay, because if Tyler Perry really had her back and really made it known that he had her back, I think they would think twice. But Tyler Perry even said, "I don't even know this lady like that." You know,
Yes. Yes.
It was
And
a
you know,
tax write-off. It was a tax
yes.
write-off. He gonna get that money back.
He never spent the money. That's the thing. They got all of these this pool and these plugs. All he did was put his name up, and that's what pisses me off. When you all said he was doing a documentary, and for me that is so disgusting. I don't care what you say. I don't care how pretty you wanted to make it seem. That's disgusting that you can get up there with a clear conscience and say, "I don't know her." So what you doing it for? And because how many of us grew up when your mama or your grandmama said, hey, if you ain't done nothing wrong, you don't have to defend yourself. If you're doing good, there's no need to put it out there. It'll always come back to you. That's all they do. He does that all the time. That's why I'm not a fan of him. You know what I'm saying? And all of them do it. As long as I can throw some money or smile or say a couple of good words, Marvin Sapp closed the doors looking at, you know what I'm saying? It's like y'all got. I'm tired. I'm so tired, and that's what pisses me off because Angie Stone was somebody's mama. She was somebody's grandmother. She was a sister. She was a aunt, whatever. And she's gone, and everybody's making it out about money and notoriety, and it's bigger than that. And we cannot have power in our community if we're not standing up for it. All they doing is putting on face like
Absolutely.
even. You're right. Even if her son is in on it, he's just looking at the money. Yo, mama gone. I don't understand that.
So going
Money is
back
more
to the
important.
funeral. Okay, so I'm thinking this. Angie Stone, she did not really could afford to for those kids to really put on a funeral for her, or her estate could not afford to do it herself. That's why they bowed down to Tyler Perry and said, "Oh, come on in. We thank you. We know you didn't know her, but we appreciate you." Is that the reason why? Because I figure if Michael and Diamond they had any type of integrity, they would have said, "You don't know my mom. Why are you doing this? No, thank you. We got it. We have pride within our family. We're not going to take handouts." Okay. Everybody that was black back in the day did not take government assistance handouts. Some black people were very prideful and they didn't want any handouts. They wanted to do it themselves. Okay. Because they didn't
Gigi,
want to hold.
I have something to say, Gigi. I'm confused with the situation because I do have a parent that passed, and I just really want to be sensitive with this situation. Um, Angie, she mentioned previously that she knew they were coming, things were happening. If anything happened to X, Y, and Z, my only thing is that during that time prior to her putting out the videos, and she started saying she's going to do these episodes, and she was up to number 17, I believe, and other episodes revealing the secrets of the music industry. I would have thought that she would have said, you know what, I already know this is coming my way, let me start to set up my my son, my daughter, my grandchildren, and start to set them up. I don't know if she didn't see anything at that time, if it was if she saw zeros, a depletion in certain accounts, but that was the best time to start either doing a will, having someone to do an audit on your estate, because you have to let your children know, unless she chose not to do that because she didn't want her children, she may not have trusted them. I'm just speculating, but what I'm saying is that if she knew they were coming, she was saying in the videos, she knew that money was missing. During that time, an estate should have been established, things should have been set up, and I don't understand why that didn't happen.
What is her status with the Angie estate? Is it going to the kids? Are they fine? What's going on?
Apparently, from what I'm hearing is that they're not getting anything. There's no money. And if there's no will, then automatically the state takes over. This is why our entertainers, let me give you an example so you can get what I'm trying to say. Like Wendy Williams. It's unfortunate, but Wendy Williams' son is the reason why she's in that predicament, because he spent over $100,000 on Uber Eats and all this miscellaneous stuff that he had no reason for doing that. So that triggered um that triggered her guardianship to say, you know what, if she wasn't able to catch this and we were, then she's not able to take care of herself. And that's how everything started to catapult from there, because of her son. And she started to mention that recently. So let's separate from this, and let's say Angie's situation. Nothing was set up in place. No guardianship, no will, no the state takes over, and that's a bad thing. No African or African American family want the state to take over, because then they could just run up all the money. They could say, oh, you need this, you need that, you need this to happen. You're not able to go back home. We don't want you around your family. Everything they did to Wendy, and Wendy was crying for help, putting her hand up, on the windows in this isolated place saying, help me, please. Because then they're able to deplete all of your royalties, all of your information and all that. So yeah, it's the same game, but they rotate it differently according to if you're younger, if you're older, if you're middle age, or how much money you have, and if you have kids or not. They seek out to take everything back and leave you broke without anything.
Storm says that they're selling hot sauce to get the money or to get some money. And
That was her hot sauce. That was
yeah,
hers. That was Angie's.
yeah, they still selling it, I guess, so the kids can get that money, that hot sauce money. But then I think of the Divine Nine, her sorority sisters. I wonder, are they going to come in and are they going to get Michael and Diamond, the attorney, or people that they can talk to? When
I
Michael and
doubt it.
Diamond go into these meetings, do Michael and Diamond know what to look for, know what goes on?
Nope.
To
All,
be honest with you, I think she put all of her eggs in one basket because when she was talking and she talked about her accountants and her lawyers and her mechanics and all of that, I think that Angie entrusted a lot of her life and her personal business in her
Mm-hmm.
staff and in her team. And unfortunately,
Mm-hmm.
it's not that they were incompetent. Hear what she said. She said they made sure to pay themselves, but then they took her money and they didn't invest it properly. And that's the other thing. When it comes to your royalties and stuff, and this is where a lot of the entertainers fight, you actually have to do your due diligence a lot too. Somebody I saw in the chat
Mm-hmm.
said she was retired. She couldn't retire because she
Uh-uh.
didn't have the money to retire. And the unfortunate reality is, and I've been hearing little things that you kind of piece the puzzle together with, like her daughter was like, I'm just trying to make sure we can continue to build this home, to make sure we, so Angie Stone was doing everything she had to do, but she put her money, her life, her career in the hands of people. Let's be honest, they're money hungry people, and they weren't focused on greasing her palms. They were just worried about doing what they had to do. And unfortunately, Angie surrounded herself with a lot of horrible people. I'm a person of like energy, good energy, bad, just a lot of bad energy. And if I be honest with you, people don't want to use the term. We use the term elites. If I think about the elites of the black community, who do you think it is? Oh, Tyler Perry, Oprah Winfrey, all of these people. How come every time something happens, they always seem to pop up? They always seem to pop up. But in this instance, the right thing would have been, to your point, Gigi, let's make sure Angie Stone estate is good, Stony. Let's make sure her kids are good. Let's make sure that no stones are unturned. Right now, they're doing exactly what they set out to do. There is no there is no conversation. There are no images. Nobody's answering any questions. And overall, what people do outside of what we're doing on YouTube, they forget about it. Rest in peace. She got hit. That's it. You hear nothing else about it. And that's how they want it. Because if I want it to disappear and I don't want there to be any validity, any knowledge, anything happening, I'm going to silence it. And that's what they've done. As much as we want to hear from these people, we want to get the other side of the story. We want to see the videos. There, it's all gone. Who has it is who needs to have it. Who needs to have it,
you
they have it. No ifs, ands, or
points.
buts.
I want to make great points, Puzzle. But if you guys did not know, back in the day, Tyler Perry, he had a reputation of being very cheap. He don't like to be given a lot of money. Just
Mm-hmm.
recently, you hear certain actors that work for him say, "Oh my God, he gives us so much money. This is the most money I got." That is staged,
Mm-hmm.
okay? Those stories are planted so he can have a better reputation, because if you ask the makeup artists, the actors there, they say he has been very, very cheap.
Mm-hmm.
So he don't like to be spending money.
Mm-hmm.
Diddy, they say he's very, very cheap. So a lot of these billion and millionaires, they don't like to spend money. Why
Nope.
was Oprah so cheap with that production with The Color Purple? Why
Mm-hmm.
wasn't she generous when she hasn't? So,
Precious.
that's something to think about.
Mm-hmm.
And another thing, it seemed like Angie Stone personality, she likes to be the rock. She likes for people to depend on her. She seems though like, oh brother, you need a job. I take care of you. I got you. She
Yep.
always want to take care of
Yep.
everybody. She always want to do favors for everybody, but
Yep.
nobody is going to do a favor for her. And people saw her as a weak link, someone you can just take advantage of and she'll get over it.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's just multiple things for her to have two grown kids that depend on her. That let you know she was somewhat comfortable with
Mm-hmm.
having those kids depend on her at a grown age.
Mm-hmm.
I know some kids, okay, when I was 12, 13, 14, I tried to get money from my father. No, oh, get on my nerves. He was like, well, I started working at 14 or 15 and I made him away for myself. So you got to do the same. It's just when you look at the Cosbys, I don't know if you ever watched the Cosby, but
Mm-hmm.
like,
Mm-hmm.
when y'all get 18, y'all getting out of here. You gotta have to depend on yourself. You
Period.
have a lot of parents that push their kids to have that independence. And it's a blessing because when you have your independence and you don't got to call mommy and daddy for no money and you got your own money, you can make away your own self, baby, it ain't no other feeling like that. Okay. So people do you no favors when they always want you to depend on them. And then all these people that work for her, that was taking advantage of her, that they really couldn't add more to her. She was more of an asset to them than to her. So that lets me know. And then her dating a 19-year-old boy. I mean, what he cannot really provide and have that mindset to be a provider for you, you know. But it seems like she did not mind a 19-year-old depending on her to help him grow into a man. And I don't know financially if she was helping him or not, but when you're 31 and 19, a 31 definitely have more things to contribute as far as experience when it comes to life. A 19-year-old really can't pour too much into you because they don't know shit. They're learning.
Right.
They're still trying to figure out who they are. So to me, it seems like she has this. She likes when people depend on her. She doesn't mind being that strong mother figure or that individual, you know?
And then the other thing is,
Okay.
you know, she's worth millions because you think about Girlfriends, that I think, was it Kelsey Grammer that wrote it? She did the actual the song for Girlfriends. Think about how big that show was. When she tells you that she's worth millions, she is, and the reality is, who dropped the ball? Like, everybody has to take a piece of accountability. Even Angie Stone has to take accountability for not actually doing her due diligence, and she did. But the reality is, how were you able? How were they able to do all of this stuff without paying her? I mean, the things that she's done. Bruno Mars sampled her song. What was it, Dr. Dre? People that she's turned over to execs and they've blown up. It's like, what happened that you didn't get the money that you deserve? Because Girlfriends was huge. Bruno Mars is a huge celebrity. Dr. Dre, all of these people, and it's like, you keep hearing not a lot of people knew who Angie Stone was. Make that make sense. I knew who Angie Stone was, and it's not just because I'm black. She has some really big songs. Black Brother, you know, like all kind of songs she had. Like, who didn't know these songs? And it's sometimes you hear it and you don't know. But my reality is, it is just bull crap on the highest level. Because to your point, Gigi, she was an easy target. She was a matriarch. She was a woman of God. She had a really good heart. Now, Angie Stone strike me as having another side about herself. She may not show it, but she strike me as, now, if I have to do what I need to do, we gonna do it. But I don't know if she showed that side enough. And I wonder if there was a sense of low self-esteem because being in the entertainment industry, she talked about how she was a bigger woman. You know, she was darker. They talked about her lips. And sometimes you try to fit a societal image. And maybe that's what they based a lot of things on. I think I heard somebody say, you just sing and do your thing. And when we do your videos, we'll just show your face. You have a pretty face. But she was more than that. She was a writer. You know, she could sing. She was a rapper. It was so many projects she had her hand in, and it's like, I just don't understand how this does not have such a higher level of importance. It lacks importance for me, and that's what drives me crazy. Like, I don't know how these people sleep at night. Not to say that they do, but how are you living knowing these things? Like, that's what's crazy to me.
Well, I think how
Man,
they're living because they have a mindset puzzle as a predator, you know,
Mm,
and
mm,
certain humans, they like to be predators. And when I think about that, a lot of people, they look at predators as something negative, but
mm-hmm,
everybody doesn't look at predators as something negative. They see it as
mm-hmm,
the highest, like another god. Like when you're at the wild, who is the predator? The lion.
mm,
And
mm.
everybody
right.
wants to be the lion, right?
Yep.
Everybody wants to be the predator when it comes to the wild. But that's what lions do. They hunt and they take down every other prey that is weaker than they are.
Mm-hmm.
Now, do you think the lions feel bad about it? Hell no.
No,
That's
no,
their
not at all.
nature. That's in their
Excuse
DNA. And then when you have humans, they go and hunt lions and cut the head off because they want to be the predator of the lion. So they
Mm-hmm,
are the king of the king. And when it comes to this music, they want to be predators. When pimps, they are predators, right?
mm-hmm.
They go
wait,
after the minded women that they can take in and they can take advantage of and get the money. When it comes to these music CEOs, they are predators. I mean, and this is what they want.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me, Gigi. I'm in the chat and it says his name is Dejan. He said, hey, grandson of the driver, please stop speaking ill and ridiculous lies on him. One
Well,
thing I
can you
don't play
come up
about
here?
my
Just
friend.
come up here. Hit that link. Come up here and tell us. It's one thing to say in the chat. Come up here. We have numerous people say they are related to Angie Stone. Okay. We don't know. Come up here. Talk to us. If we got it wrong, it is your responsibility to come on this platform. We welcome you and to say, hey, I understand where you guys coming from if you do, but just say, this is what's going on here. Okay.
He
Let us
said he's backstage.
know. Okay. What's his name? Sean?
Dejan.
Dejan.
Okay. So you guys ready to bring Sean up? It says Sean. Okay.
No, on our end it says Dejan.
Dejan.
Oh, okay, DeJohn. I'm sorry. My bad. Too many. Okay. DeJohn, are you there?
Hello, can y'all hear me?
Yes.
Hey, baby. So I'm the grandson of the driver, and it's been
Who
so
is
much
your
going
who is
on.
your grandfather?
I you have so many people over here. I don't want to say his name, but I guess
What say his name?
his name is Lethal Carter. That's my grandfather.
That's
And
your
we don't
grandfather.
and I don't play about my grandfather. I've heard so many things. It was until a week after the whole incident was when I was able to actually talk to him. It's been a lot going on. And I be seeing all of these comments and I be seeing all of the lives and stuff people do. What him who will do anything for me and my family, I don't play about. You know what I'm saying? And I know it's so many things being speculated and said on these apps or whatever, but I'm just saying, please, please, can we be just nice to the people? Because there's no conspiracy that he was with to you know what I'm saying. And if we know what the articles say and what the police report says, it says the lady was hit by she was out. If we saw the white lady speaking the video, she said she was hit by a truck, right? Okay, so if she was
Is
hit
that
by a
what
truck,
your grandfather told you?
no, he didn't tell me that. When
What
he
did
told
your
when I
grandfather tell you? When the last time you
okay,
talked to him?
I talked to him. He came here 2 days ago. And because my mama had a dinner party or whatever.
Oh,
His
that's
arm,
nice.
his whole arm, his is popped out of place. His disc or whatever this
Wow.
is,
I didn't
his
know.
latissimus dorsi is popped out of place. Yes. But my grandfather is a really nice guy. I've seen the charges that they brought up on him or whatever. He's
What
not in
are the
jail.
charges that they brung up on him? What are
Yes, I've seen. He's not in
what
jail.
are they? Can you tell me what are they? Because I don't know.
I don't know what they. Baby, I looked at it and I moved on from it because I didn't. As long as he's not in jail, because I'd do anything to get him out of jail, as long as he's within, the gambit of his delegated authority, and he didn't do anything.
Your grandfather didn't tell you what he's being accused of?
He's been accused of no, he didn't, but I think he's been accused of you know of killing someone, right?
Killing
Vehicular
who?
homicide. Yeah.
Hold on, you guys. Let me handle this. Taking out who?
Of the people that was in, because he was a driver, so the people in the truck, but the only
How
one
many
person,
people in the
only one
truck passed away?
one.
One. Who is that?
It was Angie Stone.
Angie Stone. And you're saying he's accused, your grandfather, Lee Carter, is accused of what?
of 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 being some type of uh homicide to the ex. I don't know.
You said he's been some type of homicide?
Yes, ma'am. What am I? Can you hear me good?
No, I'm hearing you. I'm just trying to understand.
Yes. And so I just got on here to really say, for the people who love their family, it's really sad when I see any post about Miss Angie. I didn't know her personally, but he always come tell us that he's her manager or whatever, because he was also her manager. He was not just her
Really?
driver.
How long was he her manager for, and what did he manage?
I have no idea. I don't know that. I never asked. I really didn't care to ask him questions like that. Maybe one day I could get you in contact with him, but I'm sure he probably wouldn't want to. I don't really talk to him about this. The only thing I've asked him is because I saw someone like about a week ago say that they had to, everybody in the truck had to sign a non-disclosure or something. So I called them and I asked them, Papa, did you have to sign anything? I didn't say what it was, but I said, when you got discharged from the hospital, did you have to sign anything? He told me no, he didn't have to sign nothing. So I was like, okay, well, that's all I wanted to know. So because I study equity law, I told him to sign a power of attorney for me. So if anything was to happen to him on a legal battle, then I'd be able to fight his case. So,
Got it.
but that's really
Not his
all.
girlfriend?
No, not his girlfriend.
Got it. Do you know do he has a girlfriend?
He does have a girlfriend.
Got it. Because I'm sure you heard about the story with him and his girlfriend.
How do y'all? Tell me what's the story, and then I'm gonna ask you a question. Tell me what the.
You're supposed to know. I don't want to put anything out there. I'm just getting from the source, you being his grandson. So what else did he tell you about the case with Angie Stone? Did he seem hurt by Angie Stone? Did he miss Angie Stone?
I'm sure he's hurt. I really try not to speak to him too much about her because, like I said, he was managing her. What did you hear about the girlfriend?
Got it. But you're saying you're sure that he's hurt, but he didn't even say anything that he was hurt about Angie. Did he feel messed up? Did he feel any guilt
I'm sure he feels
about?
messed up because his arm's out of place.
But
What?
that's physical. But I'm saying directly when he talked to you, did you see any signs that he felt some type of way? Because was he the driver of the
Yes,
van?
he was the driver. Now,
Got it. Did
I
he even tell you? Did you ask how did the van flip?
I
Did
did.
it flip?
Yeah,
And
I asked him.
what did he say?
He said there was something in the road. He was dodging something in the road. Now I can answer all your questions, but
He said
I want
he
you to
was
answer my
dodging something in the road
I want you to answer my questions as well. So what did you hear about the girlfriend? Any stories with the girlfriend? I'll answer your questions now. I'm that's what I'm here to do. But if it gets too off the rails, then I'm the baby.
Well, this is about you. You're the grandson of Lethal Carter, as you stated. So this is about you and you coming to defend him. And
Right, but you bringing up the girlfriend. Why are we bringing up about stories about the girlfriend?
because she was also in these articles, she's also in the lawsuit.
What?
You don't know about the lawsuit?
No, I don't.
Okay, well, I think you need to talk to your grandfather because he is also in a lawsuit right now.
Let me get my computer.
Well, Puzzle, do you have anything to say?
Yeah, do anybody have any questions?
Let me brainstorm.
So I guess my question to you is, how were you able to speak on an accident if your grandfather can't? Because legally,
Because he don't
how I'm
I guess
sorry.
he don't want to speak on it. I'm not sure if he even watched her funeral or anything. Like I said, I don't too much speak to him about this because I'm sure it hurts his feelings. Like I said I don't know. I try not to ask him that many questions about that because
Mhm.
people lost, as you see, people lost their life. Someone lost their life, and other people lost a friend or whatever. You know what I'm saying? He called
Mhm.
her. He would tell some people that he was her brother. So I don't want to speak to him too much about that.
How
I just
many
have two.
kids? How many kids do your grandfather have?
Mm, my auntie, he got he has 5 kids.
He has 5 kids. How many boys? How many girls?
What, baby? What? Hey, let me tell you something. You want to know too much. He got kids.
No,
He got
that's
five
just
kids. They are all
people.
from. Most of them are from Louisiana. That's all you need to know.
Got it.
I
But
have a question for you.
What's up, baby?
So your grandfather was driving on a suspended license, and you said that some of
If
the
he was,
legal.
if he was driving on a suspended license, let me go ahead and tell you that the Supreme Court states now he didn't have a chauffeur's license or he didn't whatever. The Supreme Court does not state that we need a license to drive on the roadways.
You do for that type of van, and you actually
Uh,
have to have more of
he
a
don't have to
motor.
have no chauffeur's license. He don't have to have no other license.
Okay,
Okay.
so you said
Now,
you
if he
do
was driving
equity
a now if
law.
he was driving a bus,
So hold on. You said you do equity law,
correct?
and I'm all about courtesy, but I
Yes,
did
ma'am.
litigation,
Mm.
and so when it comes to roadway, because of the type of van he
He,
was operating,
okay.
there is a legal issue there. Because, but here's my other question. Neither here nor there. You made a comment that was kind of peculiar to me. You said this is your grandfather, and you never met Angie Stone. Make that make sense?
Well, he lives in Atlanta, baby. I don't live there.
But I mean, I'm sure they've toured in multiple states. I mean,
That don't mean I'm just supposed to come out to see him, right? Or he's supposed to just come see me and stop what he's doing, correct?
okay, that's all
Now,
my question.
if you want a word
Okay.
battle, we'll do it. That's not, but
I
I just
mean,
like
I don't want the battle with you, sweetie, because I'm a person of facts. I mean,
okay,
hey,
I
it's
understand,
a
but
lot
I
I
didn't,
can say. You said respect your grandfather. If I be honest,
and
I
that's
don't know if I believe it is your grandfather, but that is neither
okay,
here nor
good.
there. I don't know
Okay, good.
you.
Well,
So I'm
I
gonna
don't
turn it
know.
over to somebody else because we don't
Well,
want the smoke.
well, I don't know what to tell you, babe. Yeah, my name is not actually Dajan. That's my business name. But yes, my grandfather is Lethal Carter. I can get my mom on here. I don't wish to do that because that's nobody else's business. But that's my grandfather. I promise you, sweetie, that I wouldn't come on here to play with you about my grandfather. Okay?
Hey, I'm gonna turn it over to somebody
How
else. I
long
just
was
asked
he
Dijon.
a
working
question.
for
Yes,
the van? Was he also a driver for the elite executive
I don't know.
transportation?
I don't know anything about that, sweetie. I don't. I'm gonna say no to that. I don't know anything about that.
Okay,
Yes,
quiet
sir.
storm. Go ahead.
Thank you. How you doing, Dijon?
Hello. How you
I have
doing?
a I have a couple of questions for you. One, you stated prior that Lethal was managing Angie.
Hmm.
How long had that particular relationship as him as a manager been?
That I don't know. Maybe 2 years because when he first started telling me, it's been like over a year. So maybe I would just say maybe 2 years.
Okay, so him being a manager at that time, was he part of trying to help her collect her royalties?
That I'm not sure of. I don't know if now I'm not sure of that. I don't know. He just speaks about you know doing tours with her and taking her this place and that place and him managing her.
Okay,
About him collecting about her collecting royalties. He does not. He's not. He doesn't practice the law, so he can't help
okay,
her
so
do that. You know what I'm
okay,
saying?
so I like to ask you a direct question. Do you
Hey,
go by
baby, hold. Give me 1 second. Hey, baby, you seem a little disenchanted up there, and I don't know what to tell you. He's like I said, he said he's her manager. Okay, that's what he
okay,
tells us. Now I know he has a relationship with her because he was driving the van, obviously, and he has pictures with her. Okay, I don't know what else to tell you. I don't ask, like I said, I don't ask him questions. I don't just sit around him just to question him about stuff. You
Can you
understand what I'm saying?
can you send those pictures to us?
So you can put my grandfather's face out there. Let me see. Let me see. If I don't already see pictures of him up, then
okay.
I
So,
don't need to send you no pictures.
Dejan, while you're doing that, I have a question for you.
Mhm.
Are you the person that was helping Lethal look up royalties for her? Is your
No,
nickname Dakota?
no. Is my real name what? It does no.
Okay, so do you know anything about IRSC coding?
IR who's coding?
Yes.
The Internal Revenue Code? Yes, I do know stuff
No,
about
no,
that.
no. Okay, that's all right. Okay.
Okay.
I was asking about
Um.
the metadata used
Oh no, I don't know anything
on
about that,
music
sir.
to track it.
No, sir, I don't know anything about that.
Do you know anything about music tracking at all?
Nope.
Okay, so can I ask this straightforward question?
Hmm.
What interest do you have of coming up today and backing up your grandfather? Why is that?
The interest that I have is because this is my grandfather and I love him. My grandfather would do anything for me. So in return, I'm going to do anything to defend him.
Okay, are you familiar with? Okay, well, you sound like somebody I'm very familiar with, and
Hmm.
I pretty much know voices very well, and
Okay.
you sound like another YouTuber. Are you?
No, I don't. I'm not a YouTuber.
Okay.
I
All
post
right.
gospel on here, and I post, people reading. That's it.
You post gospel.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Exactly.
Nikki, you saying exactly for?
I'm saying that because I am getting very, very upset right now because I know that is way more than what it is. I highly doubt that anything that's being said right now is completely true. I'm very upset.
What you mean, baby?
Extremely. I'm meaning exactly what I'm saying. It does not add up. It does not.
What don't add up?
Period. Everything that you're saying, it does not.
Okay, well, host, let me tell you.
And
Like I
and
said,
and the thing that
okay, thank you,
and while
Black
we're
Ugly. Host, this is what
uh-huh.
I'm saying.
Well, excuse
I'm,
me,
I'm.
I
Hey,
didn't hear
I'll
what you said.
repeat it. I sure will repeat it. I said, thank you, Black Ugly. Said bitch.
Black
Host, I didn't come
ugly,
up here. Now
black
listen, host,
ugly.
listen.
Now,
You are you fat black
Oh,
ugly.
G,
Host,
GG,
listen to me. I didn't come
wow,
up
GG.
To
here.
go.
I didn't
That's a
come up.
YouTuber,
Got to
GG.
go.
wow,
GG, that's the YouTuber.
wow.
That is a YouTuber.
sorry.
It is.
And
And
I,
I've been
I
working in this business
And
for a
Nikki,
whole
you are
long time.
beautiful. Do
and
you
I
hear me,
know
Nikki? You
exactly
are
Thank
who that
you.
was.
beautiful.
Yes.
You
Thank
are
I
you.
beautiful.
I
Thank you so much. I've been
I
watching this for a long time, and it hurts me because it touches home. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
It's ridiculous. Here you come having all these other people that are coming in, and they're sitting up here trying to act like they're related to these people. I have the same ear just like you do, Mr. Storm. When I hear a voice for at least 5 to 10 seconds, I know it, and I will never forget it. People are
Mhm.
trying to get clout, and it's ridiculous. While
Yeah.
we are here to try to find out what happened to Miss Angie Stone, period. And all this extra stuff is ridiculous. And it
Hmm.
is.
He wanted to smoke with me. That's why I got on mute because I'm not a person that's going to sit here and argue. I'm very intelligent, beyond
Okay.
measure. And everything he was saying was irking me because you're not going to, first of all, there's no way in hell that your grandfather can be a part of an accident and you can speak on it, but he can't.
Exactly.
Not
Period.
only that, the other red flag was that he was saying things that
Hmm.
was a little out of context, and so he could not possibly been a family member of
Exactly.
Ethel Carter.
Power of
On
attorney.
exactly, he used the term power of attorney also, and you all know all that is
Mhm.
a person that has the right to legally sign or do whatever or represent, speak
Ding,
for
ding,
a
ding.
person. Other than that, nothing to do with legal representation.
He
That
didn't
would have
even know what was going on with
Absolutely.
the girlfriend. He kept saying, Gigi, what is that?
Exactly.
That's your grandfather.
right. And he
Right.
should also have known, if he is a family member and he was speaking in family and business reference, that is an antitrust violation as to what he
That
just
part.
so
Because
uh
now you didn't even know vehicular homicide. What just happened? You're talking about, oh, he said, here's the thing, baby. If that was your grandfather, cool. But the way you're coming at us is if we've done something wrong and all we're trying to do is get to the bottom of it. You're not gonna come up here and
Right.
disrespect me or anybody else. I don't play that shit. If that's your
Absolutely.
granddaddy, call a spade, but don't get up here and now you want to dog Nikki out because she's like, no, you're wrong in that. And you can't
Yes.
even address small individual facts. Gigi
Right.
said, what's going on with the girlfriend? Wait a minute, I answer your questions, but what's going on? Why don't you know? That's your granddaddy. I knew everything about my granddaddy. I ask all kind of questions. And I don't care what y'all say. If I knew my granddad was driving or managing a celebrity that I like, why would I never meet this person? Go to somebody help me.
well now
Absolutely.
Well,
well now he gave himself away to me by his voice, and the
Hmm.
other thing that he gave himself away about is that yes, the news has finally come out that there was a longer relationship with Lethal Carter and Angie Stone.
Hmm.
Lethal was not just picked out of the pool to drive by elite services. Some way or another, Deborah Champagne got Lethal involved to drive that vehicle. How
Hmm.
that took place, I don't know. Now, he mentioned the situation that he didn't have to have a driver's license. We all know that you must be
Okay.
claiming yourself to be a Moor or somebody in that situation. Audience, let's not be fooled for one moment. Driving a vehicle
Well, that's why I
is
didn't
a
say
privilege,
anything.
is a privilege in any state. It is not a right. You do not have a constitutional right, and or by claiming yourself as a what they call it, a when a person is from another country.
Oh, you're
Anyway,
talking about like a non-resident alien or immigrant?
well, not immigrant. It's another name for those. They usually be at this embassy. Anyway, it doesn't matter if you come over. You even have to have your passport to drive with
Absolutely.
some kind of
So as you
driving.
go through asylum, yeah.
Yes, as
Yeah,
you go
solid.
through implementation. So that's been proven over and over and over and over and over in court that you cannot use that. Now that that has been said, it can possibly be considered that he may have told them that he was a Moor and he did not have to have a driver's license, and that would have been a reason that they may not have arrested him right then.
Right.
But I mean,
Well,
even
that's
when
why I
he
didn't
said
say anything.
right,
I
but
didn't say nothing because
he said Lethal was the manager, and somebody said, "What about the royalties?" I don't know about that. Well, managers help to get royalties. They book things. They
Right.
help.
Well,
What
well,
do you like?
well. That you're right, Peace. But not everybody do the same thing in management. You have people that only can
He would
manage
at
on the
least
road.
know about it, though, right, Storm? He would have
Not
known about it.
not necessarily. I'll be honest with you, because in the radio business, we know about publishing, and in publishing they have points. When a song is done, everybody get particular publishing rights or whatever. The musician may get some publishing, the musician, artist, and the engineer, because they may have come up or brought studio musicians in to perform.
Yeah.
They sign a blank docket to just be paid right then, and they have no rights to royalties. So that varies in a whole lot of ways. Everybody, just because they're a manager, don't mean they know the business and legal expertise of music, because that's not necessarily so. Most radio announcers don't know the differences between the term payola and plugola. Payola is when an artist pays a radio station to play their music. Plugola is when you being promoted and the announcer is involved in the promotion, publicly promoting it on the air. That's plugola. A lot of people don't know these particular terms that the FCC require you as an announcer to know. The other thing that has to know, every radio station in the United States, in the world, are required to pay royalties to ASCAP, BMI, CSAC. There's a company called Sound Exchange that generally collects those royalties from broadcasters playing artist music. Every time Angie Stone music is played on the radio, on the internet, or whatever, you have to pay to play that song. So why isn't anyone mentioning of any of those royalties? We have to pay. We have to pay. So I'm listening to all this bull crap, and a lot of it I'm keeping silent on because I want somebody to trap themselves. And when they trap themselves, I got you, because I know this business. I'm explaining this business, and this is the way the business go. I have not heard any of them, to include Stone, say the proper vernacular of distribution of music and collection of music royalties. I've not heard it.
And then
you
this clown
probably
get up
won't.
here. Nah.
There are two codes. There are two codes. I don't care if you download one song from anybody and it has an IRS code on that song, and then the barcode, anytime you download that song and re-upload that song, put it anywhere, that song is tracked and you cannot change it. There's nothing you can do to take that metadata away from that song. So enough with the bull crap from all these people. Enough is enough. The truth is being told over here, and the truth is going to get out. And whether they like it or not, Stone, I'm calling you a liar too, because you're taking these integral points of boosting up your sorry stinking behind music overseas that you're doing. I considered you better than that, Stone. Stone, you was an artist with Rick James, Stone. You're not just somebody. Why are you doing this? Why are you torturing the world over information that you have? Spit it out, dude. It's
That's
just
what I
that
said.
simple.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Stop
it is.
playing with the psyche of people.
And then this baby get up here thinking he about to read somebody they rights. Baby, you better go on with. They don't play with me. Equity lawyer
That's
my
why I didn't say
ass.
nothing, Puzzle. That's why I ain't say nothing because I was like, baby, I will get
Gigi looked at
banned
me because he
today.
started to get fly. I was laughing. I said, "Let me mute myself because this Gigi show. This not my show, baby. I will act like I
Right.
told you. Equity lawyer my ass,
You,
and
you,
you
you,
up here talking about some power of attorney, baby. Don't talk to me about no law. I can read the book.
it,
Don't do that. Don't do that.
well,
It's so
you knew
disrespectful.
from the way you knew from the way he was talking. Scat about what he was talking about.
No. And then
You
he
know,
want to come
Mm.
up here and insult Nikki like we were gonna be like, oh, that's okay. Nah, baby, you
look,
Right.
you
You
got us
got to
wrong.
go. You got
You,
to
you
go.
don't know.
You knew
He
that
don't
was
know.
wrong, and it just feels so disrespectful. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, we're actually people that actually care. We want to know more. We want to know what's going on. You
And
know what I'm
Gigi
saying?
interviewed him in a respectful manner. She was just asking basic
Yes,
questions. We all went muted. And my thing is, when he started insulting you, that's when he really, I already knew he was fake. But when he
Yep.
did that, it was
Yep.
absolutely.
like we pushed his pressure points.
Yeah,
And
Yeah,
that pressure point got pushed. And he was like, let me insult her. You can insult whoever you want, but it's like a family up in here. And so
yeah.
you lucky we on this online. Because if we was, baby, please, you better get your ass out of here with some real shit.
Baby.
Okay. Because I'm from the South. I'm extremely educated. I went to Clark Atlanta University. Just to let you know. And I know them roads when they come back and forth, from Georgia to Mississippi is exactly where I'm from. And I do know, like, I've been watching the show and I've been seeing basically where, different cops and things like that, they will hide in different places for sure.
yeah,
And you will know them exact places where they are.
Mm-hmm.
But it's very, very mind blowing just to know how it don't make sense, and the truth will come out. And if I gotta dig and do what I gotta do,
That's
down
right.
doggone it, that's what I'm gonna do.
But
And
he
when
would have
yeah.
would say,
I
No,
was
no,
just
I was
saying he
saying
would have
yeah.
won us over if he was
yeah,
just honest. My thing is, if you came up here and said, "Look, this is my granddad. Y'all be respectful. I can't say anything," I would have believed you because that
okay,
lets
Right.
me know. But you came up here with Gigi said, "How many kids he got?" He named and name. She said all she said was, "How many boys?
And how
How
many
many
girls?
girls?" That's like them
that's
asking
it.
Trump, "What's your favorite Bible? You like the first the New Testament or Old?" He's like, "That's private." What the hell? So she asked you how many boys, how many girls. You were just sitting there talking about my mama, my auntie, blah blah blah. Oh, it's five. You said how many boys, how many girls? Girl, you asking too many questions. I'm an
Well,
attorney.
well,
I'm an
well.
attorney, but I'm going by a stage name. Get out of here. What is
Here,
equity law? Tell me
here,
what's
here,
Right,
equity law.
here's the thing.
part.
Stupid ass.
He should have known by looking at your glasses piece and your glasses, Nikki, that y'all wasn't no fools to be playing with. Y'all got some
Okay,
education.
Baby,
You
okay,
shouldn't
I
see
got a
that.
bunch of degrees.
Off,
Play no
off,
games.
off,
okay.
off the top of that, something wrong with you. But here's the thing, and I was trying to stay out in the background just around the chat to let people get in and talk. But here's the thing. We're going on a month now that this is taking place, and I'm tired of the junk. I'm
Mm-hmm.
tired of it. I'm
Mm-hmm.
tired of all these stories. And listen, let me tell you something. Ain't nothing else you can look up because all the facts have been posted right here. We showed you the video. We showed you from dark to daylight. Don't you think that? Wouldn't you think that I have more information than I have and I'm not saying anything? The reason I'm not saying anything because I want to hear you all tell your lies. Not anybody on this panel. I'm talking about others. I want to hear y'all tell these salacious lies because at the end of the day, ain't but one lie need to be explained. Why Lethal Carter were you appointed to drive that van? That's the only lie that need to be explained. And let me tell you something. If you really want to know, peace, you understand antitrust law. To think that none of them don't have a lawsuit is a lie. Here's why they do have a lawsuit, and here's why they will pay. I wasn't saying it before, but I'm gonna make it make sense, and I'm gonna tell you right now. Elite The company that owns the service of the van is responsible for the driver that they hired. And if the driver did not have a driver's license, they are 1,000,000,000,000% liable for anything that happened.
Mm-hmm.
Point
And I
blank.
mean,
Absolutely.
Alabama law is going to, I told you already, if you're going to file a lawsuit, he was the driver. So they would have to file it against him and whoever it was that he was insured with. But what really got me was you're speaking on behalf of your grandfather and you wanted to give details about, oh, the arm, you're giving all of these medical terms. Let me tell you something, sir. You just revealed something to us that was never told. So if that's your grandfather or you're telling a story, you just said you didn't know if there was any legal documentation. You said, I told my grandfather to make me his power of attorney. So if something happened, you planning on him dying? Because what is the
Right.
point of that?
Wait a
You
minute.
cannot be his legal representation. And you said you do equity law. Baby, I've done litigation. And you're not on the criminal side. You didn't even know how to say vehicular manslaughter. So get your ass out of here talking that bullshit to me because I'm not in the mood. And my thing is, it's not nothing to laugh about, but if that's your I don't play with him. Don't
Mhm.
nobody play with their family. But don't come in here and you don't have your facts straight and you can't dot your I's and cross your T's. And then, well, you look like you up there laughing. I am laughing. Because nothing you're saying is making sense. And Gigi's asking you simple questions and you got stuck on what the girlfriend do. This is a major issue. And you're asking about the damn girlfriend. She did that as a deterrent just to see if you could figure out what the hell was going on. And she gave you a
Period.
context clue to say it was in an article. But then
Mhm.
you come up here and you decide I'm gonna take up for my grandfather. I'll tell you anything. We ask you basic questions, and then you said the biggest outlier. He didn't have to have a driver's license, but you're an attorney. Do you have to have a bar card? Can you just
Right.
illegally practice law? And you gotta have it for a specific state. So talk to me about how you know the law so well, but you think your grandfather could operate a Sprinter van with 9 passengers, flip it over, kill somebody, and it's okay, and you don't know if he has any legality issues?
Exactly. That right
Well,
there.
he said he's being accused of homicide.
He didn't know how to say it though. What he say?
He
What he
showed
say?
it.
Keontae.
He's being accused of homicide.
And yet here's another side of that truth. He is under investigation for vehicle homicide. He has not been
Yep.
charged, and they have not. And the report is not conclusive yet. So
Mhm.
they're still trying to work on that. And the reason that they're trying to work on that, and here's what I believe. I believe there's some serious issues with Liberty Mutual. I think there's some seriously neglect with Elite, and there's issues with him. So
Mhm.
ain't nobody saying nothing. But you see, Puzzle, you know that investigations don't just stop at the driver.
Mhm.
It goes at the owner of the vehicle. It
Mhm.
goes at the
Insurance
license of the
company.
company, the insurance company, how long they've been in business, and how many
Mhm.
commercial complaints that they've had
Mhm.
in lieu of transporting customers if they're in the business. The other
Yep.
thing is there is a big, big, big red flag on the play, and no one has said anything about it. And I was holding this in the back of my head. What does a limousine company have to have on their vehicles? That's mandatory from state to state.
Are you asking us?
Yes,
Are you talking about the stickers they have or the license plate? What are you asking?
they have to have a Department of Transportation sticker on there. That's a number.
Yeah.
Why
All
haven't
of
we
them
seen
supposed to be numbered.
every one of them? We transporting that many guests.
Mhm.
Okay. The other thing is people are putting out that that was a limo type vehicle. It was not.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
It's not. So you got to understand. Okay. You can look up the commerce DOT number simply by the VIN number. Where's the echo coming from?
Mhm.
Think Miss Harris, I'm going to try to mute her. Go ahead.
Okay. So no one has mentioned the DOT number. Now I'm sitting back like a wise lion letting the lioness kill the prey so I can come and eat. Y'all ain't said nothing about the DOT number. No one's mentioned it. The DOT number has not even been put on the report. You see, there is some key things here that makes everything suspect, because why would you put a vehicle on the road from a company without proper identification of that vehicle? Because just as sure as you transport people commercially, you must have that number. I don't care if it's a taxi company, I don't care if it's a limo company or a trucking company. If you're for hire commercially, you must have a DOT number.
I mean, not only that, you just have to think about it for a moment. It's like, we're talking about, like, Nikki, you just mentioned you went to school at Clark Atlanta, you know about Mississippi. Anybody
Yeah.
knows anything about these deep South states? You also know that the cops, and I said it before, the cops are going to make sure that when something like that happens, baby, they're going to light that highway up. And there are a lot of procedures and steps that they have in place. For me, there is just it, and I'm going to continue to say it. It's too quiet, and people can say, "Oh, they didn't sign this, they didn't sign that." So if you were just in an accident, and the story was he was driving fast, they asked him to stop, he didn't, they had accident. What is there to hide? Why wouldn't you want to tell your side of the story? You know, and I just think for me, that's what becomes more frustrating. And I'm getting tired of these people like, it's my grandfather, that's my aunt, it's my best friend, it's my cousin, I knew her. Okay, and it's fine that you do. But don't come up here and not be able to give some type of fact, because the first thing that you said was, my grandfather ain't signed no NDA. Oh, really? Well, how come you can't put him on the phone right now? We talked to him since he's not under any investigation. There's no legal matters. I'll put my mom on the phone, please. And that's my thing with people. Like, you're upset, and what you're upset about is we're getting to the bottom of it, but we're not just talking. We're actually talking and speaking facts, and we're intelligent to know what looks like, what looks right. And that's what bothers me about people. It's like, we can talk about this all day, and will we ever truly know what happened? Hopefully we'll figure it out. But we're not up here just making far-fetched, stories about, oh, well, I bet this was. No, these are things that are being put in our face.
Well, I want to say this, okay? I had to block him. Okay, so he's not able to come up. And the way he came for Nikki, is that what you got from your grandfather? Is that how your grandfather came at Angie Stone during her last moments? Because if you called Nikki all those horrible names, I will not repeat. Did you get it from your grandfather? When Angie Stone, her last moments, was telling your grandfather to please slow down, is that what he said to Angie Stone? I reckon.
Right.
That part. That part.
And energy
No.
is not welcome here at all.
You got to think about it. Like, I'm speaking my opinion on how I feel, about the situation. You know what I mean? Like, I feel some kind of way, and I can speak my opinion. But when you come and call me these names, bro, you definitely don't know me. Number one, I am from the deep south, and we don't play that. Period. You know what I mean? Period. We're intelligent.
You know what?
We're intelligent.
You know what? I mean, what pissed me off was, like you say, you have an opinion. Everybody has a right to their opinion. They're just like behinds. Everybody has one. My issue is, I don't like when people feel like what you say is law because you said it. Well, who the hell are you?
Exactly.
Who are you? Don't nobody care about how you feel, because those are your feelings. It would behoove me to get mad about your feelings.
Right.
I don't like that. Like, I don't care nothing about how we can agree to disagree. No, because she said it smelled like coffee, and 6 people said it smelled like coffee, and you said it smelled like something creamy. Because that's what my smelled. Why are you mad? And then the disrespect, like, People have to understand, like, just because, like you say, you wear glasses and we know you're intelligent or whatever the case might be, whatever Quiet Storm said,
Mm,
don't get it messed up. I came from somewhere, okay?
absolutely.
And don't let my glasses and my innocence of what you see. I came from somewhere. And just because
Absolutely.
I went to school, trade school, wherever you went, you don't have to go to school to be intelligent.
Mm,
Don't do that,
part.
because
That
I will
part.
go down and through there. That's why I
All
didn't
the way.
say nothing, because I'm like, nope, Keontae, this is not the night. Not the night.
Keontae,
I'm not with it.
I knew when
Well,
you were silent, Keontae, I knew when you were silent. I said, you know what? I'm gonna give them some time because
Baby, no
they about
ma'am.
to,
Because
they about to, they
my,
about to eat this dude up. He just
my
don't know.
ass
He
was
can't even
spinning
block
around
that
in a
thing.
circle. I was just sitting there like, oh, so that's how you feel. I
But can
said,
we
because
give it
my
up for
first thing would
Gigi?
have been like, little baby cousin, let me tell you something. We just gonna
Wait,
stop with the
wait,
what they
wait a
call it.
minute.
Is it the huh?
Wait a minute. We need to clear up a statement. Miss Ann
yeah.
says that the Montgomery Police Department said that the brakes were tampered with, and days after the accident, they made a statement on TV. I don't know if that's true, Miss Ann, because the Montgomery Police Department didn't have anything to do with the investigation, so they didn't even respond to this scene. So I don't know where that information comes from. Peace. Have you heard anything like that?
I haven't. I have not. Hey, let me say this though. We got to give it up for Gigi. Gigi, she told the panel, y'all go quiet. Let me interview. I live for Gigi with these questions. When I
Okay.
say
Yes.
I was trying to keep from laughing because Gigi will look at me and we laugh out loud. So she asked that question about the girlfriend. And when he said, hold on. And she was like, I'm not. I was like, Gigi looked at me and I was like,
I almost say hello.
yeah, man.
Hello.
I
It
was
was too much.
excited when you guys kept telling me, "Oh my God, Lethal, well, Carter grandson is in the chat and he has something to say." I was ready. I welcomed it. Okay,
Mhm.
know that that was a fraud. I'm very
Mhm.
disappointed.
Yeah. You can pick up on that. It was like automatic, and that's so disrespectful for you to even say that, hey, you are related to this guy, and then you can't even speak facts. Do you know what I mean? Like simple, basic facts. Like it just don't make sense. Like quit playing. We trying to get down to the real thing and quit
Mhm.
wasting people's time with that foolery. You know,
And I
Well,
mean,
well,
at
I
the end
did
of
not cuss him
I'm,
out
yeah.
simply because I'm just gonna tell you because I am number one a woman of God and I have children as well. So I don't want them to come on and see, oh, my mama was acting this way because I know how to get people in line by still being the way that I am.
you didn't
But I
have to,
don't play
Nikki.
that.
You didn't have
But
to.
I
We
don't
act
play
a
that.
monkey. As soon as he did it, I already saw Gigi getting ready to block him, but we were ready. Guns a
Thank
blazing,
y'all
baby.
too.
Don't play no game. Like that's so stupid to me. I think for me, even if and I'm here to I'm gonna just say this. Even if you
Yeah.
just came up and I said it and said, "Oh, this is my grandfather," y'all just please give him some grace. I think we would have been
Mhm.
okay. But you got up here trying to jump on us for what? Like we hadn't said. We only have spewed facts. We've been trying
But
to
here,
figure it out.
yeah,
But
That's
and
it.
here's the other thing, Peace and Keontae and Nikki. How many times have we been approached with people that say their family are close to the family?
Mhm.
How many times?
yeah,
Many.
A
And
lot.
how many times did we either debunk what they had to say or they had to come back and turn around and say the same thing that we had already told them?
Period.
Right.
But guess what? If it was my grandfather, I'm gonna get on camera and say, "Y'all stop the shits. That's my granddad. Don't talk about him. I can't tell you what happened, and I'm a call a spade a spade. I can't talk about it, but look." So we're asking somebody in the chat. I was laughing. They said, "Baby, your name ain't nowhere on the family tree. They don't see
Ain't nowhere.
you." Yeah. And when I'm just gonna keep saying, Gigi said, "How many girls? How many boys?" He's talking about girl.
yeah, he started stuttering.
Hell, it's not that
But you know
hard.
what's so funny, Puzzle? Nikki, Baby, I understand you
Okay.
have kids. Mine grown.
Yes,
They are
sir.
27 and 28 and 31, baby.
Yeah.
Listen, I love the Lord. I
Oh,
do.
yeah.
I
The Lord,
pray, I meditate, I fast, I do all that. But I will get your ass,
baby.
baby. Will take you down and through there. Because guess what?
Yeah.
I tell Gigi all the time, my life is simple. I don't get
Mhm.
into a whole lot of stuff. But baby, when you click that button and you know you wrong, I'm get ready to give you the best
Period.
15 minutes I got.
Period.
Cause I had no fun all week, baby. Listen, I'm get ready to kiki and knee slap and laugh at you and let you go off and be real condescending and low down and nasty and talk
Baby.
to you 9 shades of crazy. And depending on how I feel, I probably won't use a curse word. But the night
Yeah,
he would have got all the smoke. She'd have cut me
Keontae,
off
he
the
was
night.
yeah.
I'll
threatening me.
tell you
Miss,
that.
He was
hey,
threatening me with a good time, Keontae. He was threatening me
Okay.
with a
Baby,
good time. You
hey,
hear me?
hey, ladies, can I address something? Because I think I need to do this openly. Because the other day I was so passionate and
Mm.
really upset about some of the things that I found, especially that day. That was the day that I was looking at all of the video, which I didn't post all the video. I only post some of the video. And so KFC was on the platform, and I think I said to a lady, "Shut up," and I did not mean to say that to her. I was saying that in general. I said that in reference to speaking to KFC. So one, I want to apologize to KFC that I meant no harm in insulting you, KFC. I'm a man that loves women and I respect women, and I would not do that willingly. So I apologize to you openly to doing that. Okay. Please accept my apology. I don't fight with women. I don't argue. I don't do any of those kind of things. Yet I was very passionate about that video that day, because you have to understand, I'm putting in a lot of hours looking for stuff. I really want to find, as a broadcaster, I want to find out what is going on with this case. It's not just about YouTube. I could care less about that, but I care about knowing about the truth. But most of all, I care about respecting women. And KFC, me and you can always have difference of opinions, but my strong black sister, I love you, and I should not have disrespected you. And I do want you to accept, please, my apology by saying I'm sorry for saying shut up. And and any woman that felt disrespected by me saying that, please forgive me, because I had no intention of that. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart.
Yes, that's
Good
great. She
job.
said,
Good job.
thanks, I accept it.
good.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
guys, for hashing that out.
Yeah, because one thing I know about you, Gigi, you don't like stuff like that, and I didn't. It didn't even hit me until after the fact that I was mad, and I wasn't mad at KFC. I was. Where's the echo coming from? I have a full-fledged studio, so I don't get feedback. I don't know where that's coming from.
I'm gonna mute myself, but I don't think it's me.
Let me
Was on mute.
check. Oh
Everybody's
yeah,
on mute
it,
now.
yeah. So it was. Yeah, I think. Wait a minute, that's still me. Huh. Check. No, that's not me.
Well, just go ahead and continue to talk.
Yeah. Okay. So so that's just bothering me. Check 1, 2.
Everybody says you snore.
Okay, tell you what, let's let somebody else talk a second. Let me check my board, because I have a professional board out.
All
I was
right.
gonna respond to the question in the chat. The guy asked me if I date men. To your question, I'm very flattered, but I don't. So sorry.
Oh, he was trying to get with you. Okay.
Hey, you know what? It's I get it a lot. I'm a very humble person, but no, I don't. But thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Okay. Nikki, what would before all that went on, what did
Yes,
you have?
ma'am.
I know you're very patient, and I thank you so much. And I
Yes, ma'am.
thank you just for you being you. You know, Nikki
Yes,
don't
ma'am.
tolerate no BS. She's gonna call it like you see it, and I
Yes,
appreciate.
ma'am.
So, what are your thoughts about Angie Stone and all that's going on?
Yes, ma'am. Well, it hurts. It hurt like it came from home. I'm not just fully like in the industry, but I do sing and I did do a little bit of ghostwriting for people. But I looked at what Miss Angie basically said that happened to her, things that she went through, and I kind of took that as a guideline and thought twice times, three times infinity about really fully getting into the industry. I love to sing, I write, I do that. But for her to set that guideline, for her to set the record straight, for her to say, hey, this is what happened to me. Watch out. That was what she did. And I feel like I have to do my due diligence of, helping to figure this out. I can't even sleep. It bothers me, because I just don't see how this happened like that. You know, Traveling up and down the roads, I have seen many of fatal accidents and drove up on them. And when I tell you, when it's a line in Alabama, oh, it's gonna be a full line, and that is going to be taped off. And that was one of the first things. And how can it happen at 4:15 and then all of a sudden you get another report at 7 o'clock? Well, what happened? How can she be under the van, and how isn't there more damage? Like, it don't add up. It just don't.
Nikki, can I ask you a question? When
Sure.
there's an accident in Alabama, not only do you normally see a lot of police and EMS and firefighters, but do
Uh-huh.
you also see like the helicopters, the media and stuff like that, especially if it was major?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Especially if it's a
exactly.
celebrity.
Hmm.
Especially that. And even if it's not a celebrity, you're still going to have helicopters because they want to take from the top down as well to try to capture everything, because it's going to be an investigation, especially if it's fatal. The shit just didn't add up to me. And, it hurts. And I hear a lot of people, having, different opinions about, I guess you could say like the family and, different things of that nature, which, I do wonder why it's not a whole lot of pushback. But then you got to understand, look on the other side too. Like, are they scared? Do they want to come out? Do they want to, say everything, or do they want to kind of keep it low, still do their investigation in the background, and then, once they get everything together, and then it comes out? I don't know. But I do know that this whole situation just don't feel right. It just don't.
So,
It does not.
you feel like the kids, Nikki and Diamond, now
Yes,
what's
ma'am.
Nikki and Michael,
Mm.
are planning something big, but they're just not letting us know?
I I don't I don't know, but I'm just saying, not just them personally, but just the entire family. Period. What if they are pursuing different things as far as like checking into the royalties, and you know what I mean, and doing their own investigation in the background, because we did find out that Michael did, basically kind of see what was going on as far as like with Miss Angie's body, to find out that there were other substances that were actually in her body that didn't really make sense. And then there were like physical things that you could see that was done to her body, and it didn't add up. But I think it may be that they may be doing something kind of in the background. I don't know, but I like to give people the benefit of the doubt to kind of see. But of course, us looking from the outside in, we're like, okay, give it to us. Why you not doing this? Like show me something, tell me something,
Hmm.
show me that you are interested in making this work. But what if they're scared if that happened to their mom? You
Hmm.
know,
Well,
I
this
had to.
that Nikki, I
Yes,
didn't
ma'am.
like you, because they have all spoken. Nikki have came. I mean, Diamond has came out
Yes,
uh,
ma'am.
multiple times, and she told her fans to go to HELL. She
Mm,
pretty much said, "Don't worry about what I'm getting the cash app for. Okay,
mm,
just give me that damn cash app." And Michael had come out and he said some things, people acting fake and phony, but
yes, ma'am.
just their position, how they came, it wasn't a strong stance. It wasn't
Mhm,
even when they said what they said, it wasn't in a
mhm,
position. It was more like, I'm just here, it's whatever, y'all. It's a lot of fake people out here, and y'all got what y'all want now. So, all that fun stuff y'all got, y'all can have it. He
Mhm.
was out of it. And then
mhm,
yeah, so y'all want to donate, just donate. No disrespect, but you know what I'm saying? Just donate, okay? And I don't
mhm,
give a damn what y'all talking about. It's like they're out of it. They are zoned out. And I hope
mhm,
that you're right. Maybe they're putting on a poker face. Good job, you guys. You guys are excellent because you had me fooled. Okay. So
mhm.
maybe they're putting on a poker face and behind closed doors, they are to the business. We will have to see.
Yes, ma'am. I just try to think of it, you know what I'm saying, like from different sides because I'm gonna tell you just like this. I would never disrespect my mama because I already know what that is. That's
Period.
period. You know, I wouldn't even think about that, and I
Yeah.
did not agree with some of the things that was done. And, and I my own personal opinion, her funeral, like I almost got upset, you know,
Why? Why?
simply by some of the things that were being said, and almost like it was a game or a joke, because
Mm.
it was like, no, I'm not gonna say that no one was being real, but it did not feel right at
Mm.
all. And especially, I don't agree with, disrespect and Miss Angie's fans and things of that nature because she worked hard. This is her legacy. You should be wanting to be respectful. I would never in my life in a million years disrespect anybody like that. That's why when this guy came on talking that bug, it is what it is. But I know how to play. He can get on. He can
Mm.
get it if
I
he
What
agree
want to
was
with
go.
you
at the
regarding that
funeral?
funeral.
What was at the funeral that made you feel some type of way, Nikki?
Ma'am.
I said, what was at the funeral that made you feel some type of way? Who said it and what did they say?
It was more so of I, I would have to say her. I would have to say like the people that said that they were very close to her. It was. I, I don't know. I don't want to step on anybody's toes because I do know a few people, and I don't want to do that. But I honestly feel,
Because Nikki, you
yeah,
came up here as look, you're gonna tell
I
it like
did.
it is. You're
Yes,
blunt,
ma'am.
it's honest, and you just gonna have to tell it. So I'm
Yes,
expecting
ma'am.
that same Nikki when it comes to this. Let's not pay any favoritism, Nikki. What
Yes,
was
ma'am.
who said it?
Yeah, it's no favoritism. The thing is like I did see like a few people that made some speeches and it seemed genuine, but I don't know. It it seemed like a funeral, for sure, but it did not. It,
Mm-mm.
it seemed disrespectful. I would never curse in a church. I will get
So
my
Michael, you're talking about Michael.
that's I would not curse in the church.
Okay,
I
Nick,
wouldn't.
let's
Yep.
get are you talking about Michael, Nikki?
Well, he did curse. That made my eyebrow like rise. Maybe he was nervous. Maybe this and
No,
that. But
he didn't seem nervous to me. It seemed like he
yeah,
wanted to be light-hearted. It seemed like they were at
mm,
a comedy show. Seemed like they
yeah,
wanted people to laugh. That's what I got
yeah,
from it. I didn't get a funeral vibe, more so a concert, and everybody was speaking. They wanted you to laugh.
yeah. I don't know. I just don't feel like it was a respectable comfortable all the way funeral, all the way.
because
I
he
just don't.
knows, he know that his mom would not approve of him cussing. He knows that.
Exactly. Not in no church.
In the church. He knows
Mm-mm.
what it got on him for that, but he did it, and it was almost like it was normal for him. You know, he
Mm-mm.
didn't come back. Did he apologize? No, he did not. You know, so it was. So I understand where you're coming from.
Mm.
With that. I do.
Mhm.
Yes,
I
Okay,
agree
ma'am.
with
all
that.
right.
It was
I'm not
dark.
gonna put you on the spot anymore.
No, no, it's okay. You know, I like to be true. I like to be respectful, but I like to see it from all ways. But I was like, when I heard, oh, let him in down, he's supposed to cuss in church, you know. And I try to give him the benefit of the doubt. Maybe he was nervous. Maybe that is what it is. But it, I don't know. I don't know. People grieve differently. I lost my father. I was actually in college when I lost my dad, and I'm still not over that. He's been gone for right at like 18 years now,
Mhm.
and that is something hard to deal with. But everybody grieve differently, you know. But
Well, let me ask you this. Ashton, her executive assistant, he
Mhm.
yes,
tells
ma'am.
the story that when Angie Stone wanted to go to the bathroom, they were at the
Yes.
hospital, that
Mm.
she laid on her back with her legs up to the sky and told him to get the pan, and she
Oh,
was exposed. What was your thoughts about that at the funeral?
that is disrespectful. You do not speak like that at all in a church period, and definitely not in no funeral. That was very disrespectful to her and her legacy and her family. Like, who says that? Now, if you at what I'm saying, a family function, cookout, and y'all laughing and, speaking about the good memories and things like that, you know what I mean? Like, mate, around your friends, you know what I mean? Okay, understand it. In a funeral setting where you're respecting her legacy, where it just did not, mm-mm,
So did
that was
I
wrong.
that made you feel uncomfortable?
It did.
Yeah.
It did. It did.
The whole spectacle was just stupid. It was just a production. It was a dark mess, and it
Mm.
didn't. The cadence of it didn't feel like a funeral. There were a couple of songs where it was like, "Oh, this is nice," but it was just now the one in South Carolina felt more like a down home funeral. The one in Atlanta, it was just I don't know. When I saw those roses, I was like, it's beautiful, but it's weird at the same time. Like it was just dark. I mean, it's like you're supposed to wear black, but damn, they set the ambiance like it was a seance or something. It was just dark.
Mm.
It
It
was
was
dark.
crazy.
And Empress,
Mhm,
to your question, I saw it multiple times. Yes, I am. But
mhm,
it was just dark. It was dark. It was I don't know. I don't. I told you this recently. Like for me, it was creepy. It was almost creepy. Like I couldn't watch the whole thing. I was clicking through stuff. I don't know. Some just didn't sit well.
Yeah,
I don't know.
it was. I'm sorry, guys. Gigi, I thought I was on mute because I know I talk to the screen, so I usually mute myself. I didn't mean to interrupt you guys when you were having a conversation.
Oh, we
I
good.
didn't hear you.
Yeah, we
Yeah, but to what you're saying about the funeral, it was dark. But my question is, I know a lot of people feel like she didn't have money to bury herself, but the South Carolina funeral, the ambiance was a funeral. Now, whoever got up there and said what they said might not have been kind of funeral-ish, but it was more funeral to me. The other one, the
Mm-hmm.
first one, it was very, very dark.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, the roses were beautiful, and I agree with you. They were creepy.
Mm-hmm.
mhm,
They were creepy, right?
mhm.
And is your name Nikki? Is your name
That
Nikki?
that's
That's
just
you.
yeah.
You
Yes, ma'am.
have the cutest Southern old school down home dialect. You are such a joy.
Oh,
You are a
oh,
joy. You are so respectful. You
oh.
you are a joy, and you were
He
raised by
is.
some older Southern Baptist people, because that baby said yes, ma'am.
I
It's
definitely
crazy because
was.
my kids say yes, ma'am, but she's like, yes, ma'am. And it's just so sweet. You are a joy. You have brought me joy this
Oh,
evening
That's why we
oh,
had your back, Nikki.
thank
Baby, we could
you.
have taken baby boy up
because
out of
he
here.
was
Don't
going to go
play with me.
down. I ain't even going to lie to you. I was going to
Don't
give
play
him
with me.
everything
Okay.
I had to take him down and through there.
Look, he could try it. I smile, you know what I'm saying? Like it's all good. You know,
You
when I
put the
get there,
pressure
I
on
get
him,
there.
Nikki. You
But
put the
yeah,
pressure on him. That's all it
for
was. You
sure.
put the pressure on him. You were calm.
Yeah.
You called his bluff, and he couldn't take it anymore. And I think at that point, he just
Okay.
had to lash out, and it was so ridiculous and childish.
And sad.
Right. Yeah, because why you gotta attack like my face like I'm ugly? Like he does not know me. He don't know where I come from. He don't know any of the accolades that I have. You know, period.
It's
You know,
trolling.
like
Just pure
there's
He doesn't know
trolling.
that's
himself. That the way that
yeah.
he responded just goes to show you that he has a lack of self-worth, self-love, because you don't do
Mm-hmm.
that or say those things to people and it be okay. That's his defense mechanism. Let me just
Yeah.
call her A, B, and Z. No, you're not going to do
Right.
that. That's ridiculous. You don't do that to somebody. So,
Right. I would love to see his face. He damn sure didn't
baby,
come up.
I think we would all love to see that face, honey, because
One more
Lee
question
there.
Nikki, I have for you. Okay, the funeral.
Yes.
What were your thoughts about the Divine Nine when they did the, I guess people call it the boule or the
Yes.
sorority? What were your thoughts there?
Mm, I don't. I don't know. I really don't know that much. Like as far as like when it comes to the Divine Nine. Now I did go to Clark. I didn't join a sorority and things like that. I do have a lot of friends that are, you know, kind of connected with the sorority. But I would have expected a little bit more, I would think. Um, I don't know. I don't know. I don't,
Got it.
I
So
don't
when
think
you were
I
there,
want to
when
speak
you
on
saw
that.
them at the church doing their thing, you
Yes,
just
sir.
did you not have any feelings? You just, or you can just pass on the question.
I think I want to pass on that one.
Like pass on the question. That's fair.
Yes,
Um,
ma'am.
Eyes Black China, how's it going? What are your thoughts about everything?
Fine, how are you?
Good. Okay, I don't know what happened to her.
That's
You
good.
back up, Black China.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
First, I don't mean to interrupt. I just recently started watching you, Gigi, and I gotta say, I love the passion. I can see your passion in this, and you drew me in. Puzzle, very educated, smart. And Nikki, she said a lot of things that I can relate to. Now, just a little bit about me. I'm from Philly. I lived in Columbia, South Carolina, and currently I live in Atlanta, Georgia. I will say that I was a fan of Angie's, and I also conversated with Angie. Matter of fact, the last time I spoke to Angie was actually 2 days ago. And listen, before she died,
Okay.
before she was unalive. I'm a little nervous, so bear with me. Before she was unalive, 2 days prior, it was either Thursday or Friday, I had just spoken with her. And I spoke with Angie occasionally, very rarely, but I did used to conversate with Angie. So I think in my spirit, something has always been what your show consisted of. Something was not right. I spoke with Angie when she was, put it like this, down, sick, family not around, in the house alone. Um, but it wasn't, and I'm not going to put myself out there because I'm not trying to get that kind of attention, and I'm not one to lie. I'm a spiritual woman, and I'm not one to lie. I don't have anything to prove, and I've been watching your show, Gigi, since pretty much you started airing about this. My feelings on everything that you guys have spoken about tonight, I feel the same way. One thing that stands out in my spirit when it comes to substances that was in her system, possibly, allegedly. Um, I want to say I believe that without a shadow of a doubt. And it kind of makes sense when they say that she was hit. Well, when they say that this clear girl, as you stated previously, uh, this clear girl came up. It was to the point where, yeah, it was staged. They had given Angie something to have her um, disorientated, discombobulated when the clear girl pulled her out purposely. So when she got out, she was off. She was impaired. And it caused her to kind of like wander, stagger, or whatever, because she's not in her right mind. And Clear was the one to kind of put her in that position, knowing she had something in her system. We don't know, but knowing that she had something in her system. When Nikki said she was hurt, I absolutely was devastated because when I got the news, my aunt called me and said, "You know, Angie gone." And I said, "No, you know how they put out fake news? Angie ain't gone. I just talked to her 2 days ago." It was unbelievable to me. And to this night, I have to get up in 4 hours, but I haven't been able to pull myself away from your airing. But it's something in my spirit. It's something maybe from beyond that I feel like Angie is like, just pay attention. It's going to be all right. I can hear her voice. So I just wanted to say that I love your passion, Gigi. Puzzle, yours as well. And Storm. I love you guys for what you're doing, and I mean that from my heart. And everything I said, I'm not the previous guy that was on this podcast, whatever you call it. I'm new to this stuff. I'm an old lady. I'm 55 years old. So excuse my appearance, all of this stuff. But I
Oh,
just
you
had to let
good, girl. We love you. We love you. We are a community over here. You one of us. We love you. So no need for, you're good. Okay. Look like the elite got her
for
too. Okay.
I
You coming back? Okay. Because I got
okay,
Paul.
I'm gonna hang up because I gotta go. I got 4 hours. But I lived in Columbia for years, and I lived here in Atlanta for years more. And I gotta say, it really touched home. It really touched home. So when I see people like you doing what you're doing, heads off to you, baby. I love you guys and keep doing
Love
what you're
you too.
doing. All right.
Right. Sean, how's it going? You've been very patient. Thank you so much for your patience. What would you
Hi,
like to say?
hi, Gigi. My name is Sean. So I just start seeing your the YouTube channel. I just want to say I like your channel. I respect your channel. Like I like your thoughts, and I think you're
Thank
funny. So
thank
the whole thing about the whole Angie Stone, I'm like everybody else. I'm kind of confused. I'm scratching my head because everything just don't make sense. There's a YouTuber by the name of Married to Trucking. He's on YouTube, and he kind of the trucker. He kind of explains it. He said that one of his videos, he stated that I guess one of her background singers, I think her name is Sharita. She said that everybody in that car or in that van was telling the driver Lito to slow down. Do not. I guess she was scared for her life, so she was telling everybody to slow down. And then according to Sharita, she stated that oh well, I get to Baltimore. I'm in a rush. And so they said that after he said after she said that, that's when the accident happened. So I feel like that he has something to do with it, like the other guy that was on the line, the live, something seemed kind of off. So I just kind of wish that Lito or more of the people would come forth and just say what happened. But I figured if they had signed an NDA, they're kind of like scared or something. So it seemed kind of suspicious. And then I was told that I was learning online that he has like a executive, like elite business or whatever. I heard about that, and so
Well,
I'm still kind
a,
of worried
a
about
van
that. But then,
driver. The van
yeah,
that he was driving is under the executive elite transportation. So that's
right.
the connection with that company.
Exactly. So I'm still trying to figure out like if he had a suspended license, how can he have his own business and then he drive around with a suspended license? That kind of don't make no sense to me. So and then they said that the courting lady, she came out the blue trying to help her, but then her video got taken down. So it's like, okay, well, this seemed kind of odd. I guess the elites kind of told her to take it down out of trying to scare her or something. I don't know if that's true or not. But my only concern, but when Angie Stone is just that I didn't know she was in the business for that long. She had a thing called the Synquist. I didn't even know that. I just know her song from Brother, and my favorite Angie Stone is Baby with Betty Wright. It's my favorite song. So the only thing I just want to know, which is that where's her money going to? Because she said she's worth over $50 million. And so I think what happened when she stated that, it just that's when kind of like, I hate to say, but the crap hit the fan. So they can't watch her lives, and at the right time, supposedly they took her out. So my only concern is that she get her justice where her money is due, and her family can live well. She's not here anymore. I was a huge fan. Like I said, my favorite song is Baby. So I just hope that she gets the deserving the money that she needs, and everything could be in place. Like I said, I was a huge Angie fan, especially with the neo soul days, like Maxwell and Music Soul Child and Angie Stone and Jill Scott. So I just love it. I like her voice, and I didn't know back in the day she sung Girlfriends. I like that. I like that theme song very much.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Sean. We really appreciate you. Okay. All right. So let's bring up Storm and Shy.
How you doing, Shy? You want to speak first? Celeste Shy?
All right.
Okay. Well, Gigi,
I'm sorry. Can y'all hear me?
yes.
We can hear you.
Oh, okay. Did y'all just see Stone's new post?
No, I haven't seen it.
Stone
Part
just
six.
came
Yep.
part 6, yes. So now I'm just getting more confused. I hate when he do the bits and pieces because I was on edge waiting for 6. Now I gotta wait for 7. But he talked about the people who giving him the information about the driver, and that they're scared. They don't want him posting their name or saying their name because they scared the driver is gonna do something to them. And it's like, what what kind of driver is this? Who is this? He's saying that he was helping get her royalties and that she was worth 100 million and he was getting 10 million. It's like more and more stuff coming out that just don't make sense. And I talked to my friend from Mobile, Alabama, and he said they knew about it instantly when she passed away. And Gigi, I tried to send you the white lady because you said you couldn't find it. He sent it to me, and I tried to friend request you on Facebook because I wanted to send it to you because you said you ain't see it. And it's clear as day. It's what she was saying, what she did for Angie, and all that. And it's just like something
Yeah,
just
I
ain't
saw
adding
the
up.
video. She only had one video out there. Now you
Right.
said that the white woman, Courtney, was getting interviewed by a black man. Now I
Yes.
didn't see that one. I saw Courtney by herself, pretty much telling her story. And what you told me was exactly the same thing that she told by herself. So I said, well,
Yeah.
this must be a video that someone edited to make it seem
Edited.
like he's doing an interview, but he's not, because the same information you told me, she already said it solo.
Right.
It wasn't
Right.
even you.
Yep. I feel like that's exactly what ended up happening because I end up going back and I keep seeing edited videos and stuff like that. So that's the only thing that we know about her. And now it's criminal and all that stuff. I don't trust Diamond. I'm not gonna lie. Y'all can say what you want to say. I don't trust her. I don't like the way she was really, really fake and phony. I feel like when he keeps, I don't know, Stone giving us bits and pieces, but everything he's saying is starting to add up. Everything he's saying is making sense, but I just don't understand why this is not news. Why is this not being broadcasted all over the place? My friend in Mobile said they're not hearing anything else about it. They said that she was outside of the van and the 18-wheeler hit her dead ass. So, and
Mhm.
I was like, well, they said it wasn't no blood. He was like, because they were saying that it was internal damages. I'm like, but ain't nobody saying that. So why ain't nobody saying that? is people being paid off to hush hush? I mean, Clyde Davis got lots of, minions, but just something just ain't adding up.
Well, to answer your question, Celeste, um, to my recollection, the hospital have not released any information in regarding to Angie Stone to anybody in the media or whatever. And one of the reasons is because that would be a HIPAA violation for them to do that. So they haven't released any of that information. Number two, it's not really. Where's the echo coming from?
They said you brought it back.
I have a professional sound system. I don't even know what that. It's never happened before. Yeah. Is it happening now? Yeah, it is. Gigi, let me check my system. Please, I'll come right back.
Okay. Ada, are you there?
Hello.
Hey, how are you?
Yes, I'm here. I just want to say a few things. What's her name? Sharita? I think the whole
Freedom
squad, I think
Mercy.
everybody that was in the van is going to turn on each other. I truly believe that Sharita is upset with Lethal. I call him Lethal. I know y'all said his name was Nathaniel or whatever it was. I think that she's going, I don't know if she's going to fully tell the truth on him because I think she was jealous that he bought that woman in. So I think that she's going to kind of, I don't know, kind of like stir the pot and kind of throw everything on him because she don't want it on her. And secondly, I don't believe Angie was in that van because it doesn't make sense. It just doesn't make sense for her to get hit by a semi truck and have an open casket. It's just not believable for me. It's just not. I truly believe something happened beforehand. It kind of feels staged to me. I know that everybody's saying, I don't even know who's saying they seen a van, but it feels staged to me, that part. Something definitely happened to Angie beforehand. I think she was underlive before that whole thing. Because you're not going, and then on top of it, Angie used the word diesel a lot, only for her to get hit by a diesel truck. It's like everybody's making a mockery of her death a little bit. And
I agree
Salone
with that
Bell,
because
what's her name? Salone Bell. It's, you know who I'm talking about?
Salone Bella, that is
Yes,
YouTuber. And
yes, right.
he says she has visions and she's a psychic, I believe.
Right. To me, she's kind of making a mockery of this too. Like now I'm not even starting to believe her because two things happened with her. One, she said Angie had signed her soul over maybe. Now I'm not believing that Angie didn't because we don't know how Angie was in her younger years when she was signing contracts. It's not hard to not believe that she might have did it and not known because she also mentioned.
To stop you there because we know recently she said that she got stuck by a poison needle and it was from Satan himself. And
Right.
she screamed Jesus and she was right with the Lord. And she
Right.
knew that this dark time is coming. And she was a known Christian lady. So
Right, but I'm not saying you could be a Christian and sign. You're not. You could be a Christian and sign yourself and not know though. I'm not saying that she did it knowingly. But like she mentioned that she had a lot of contracts and there was a lot of things that she thought was being taken care of. So she could have signed papers or documents and she didn't know what was all in the documents. Not saying that she literally went in there and was like, "Okay, I'm going to sell my soul," but she could have signed things.
that's not selling her soul. That's just her being manipulated and
Right, but
finessed.
that's what I'm saying. But in
When you're
in their
selling your soul, it's just like opposite. When you go to Jesus or whoever, you have to confess with your mouth. You know,
right,
nobody can
but
trick you to give your life to Christ. It has to be something that is really
I'm
genuine.
not saying it
But
in that
wait,
form in which
hold
you're
on,
saying it. I'm
Gigi.
not saying it in
Wait.
that form in which you're
Uh,
saying it.
I agree with what she's saying. What she's trying to say is that we don't know when Angie was the first rapper in this group.
Right.
We don't know what she was doing, and this is what she's saying, and I agree with her. We don't know. We don't know when you're a new artist and you're trying to get out there and you want that money, you want them coins.
Right.
We seen that these artists will do anything. Now, also Angie, as you get older, you start to realize that, one day you're going to have to make that date with death. That don't mean
Mm-hmm.
she didn't become baptized, filled with the Holy Spirit, hallelujah, speaking in tongues later on in life. But you still, if you sold your soul to the devil, you have to pay a price. And I know this because a lot of my family are pastors. So that's what this young lady is saying, and I agree. We don't know. And at
Right.
the end of the day, maybe because of things that she had did in the past, that catches up to you. So things started to happen, and that's why, and this is what she trying to say. Sorry to cut y'all off, but I just want to make sure that I make that note, because we can't, you got to understand what she's saying. She's not saying that, she was
It was
even,
something
I
that
don't
she
think she
did
was
willingly.
manipulated.
I
I
think
think
in her
she could have been something willingly. And how do Angie, not Angie play, and I love Angie, God knows I did, but let me tell y'all something. She made it seem like she was dumb to a lot of shit that was, she should have known about the business. You had, like I said last time, Gigi, on your podcast, she she loved the young boys. She had all these young people that was her managers, that was her writers, that she put a lot of young people in place to take care of her business, when you should have had people that knew about the business. They got up there at the funeral saying, I was 20, I was 19. So some things you cause on yourself when you don't do things that just commonly make sense. I'm not about to ask my 15-year-old child to be the executive over my $1 million estate and sign all this stuff when they just a baby. You don't let a child do adult stuff. Some things you just kind of cause on yourself. Not saying that she caused a death on herself, but a lot of things that may have happened. And if she did sign herself over, at the end of the day, sooner or later, you got to pay the reaper.
Got it. Well, I
Period.
think that Sky and Etha, you have to agree to disagree. That we have different beliefs when it comes to that. Okay. You believe nachos and cheese, and I believe sour cream. Okay.
I
And
believe sour
Yeah,
cream
but I'm
too.
not saying that she signed herself willingly. I'm not saying that she
let me
literally.
can I finish? Can I
Okay.
finish? Okay. So that is your belief. I understand you're talking about some willingness and you can sign yourself over and not know. I don't believe that. Okay. So also the fruit that she bears. The fruit that she bears was uplifting. The fruit that she bears was very graceful. She didn't bear any dark fruit when it comes to music and what she put out there. I just we just have a different of beliefs. I don't feel that you can just sign a paper and give your life to Jesus Christ without making a verbal confession and actually mean it with intention. I don't believe that things can happen and you're just not knowing, you're so unaware. No, that's not my belief. So we just believe differently, okay? All right. So I'm gonna bring Quiet Storm up here. I still hear the echo. Do you guys hear the echo? Press three if you
I hear
guys
that. So
hear the
I
echo.
I don't hear any more echo.
We all hear the echo, Storm.
Yeah, I hear that. I hear that.
I don't know where it's coming from. It can't be me then, because I don't hear any echo, feedback, or anything. Everything sounds crystal clear.
It's good now.
No, it's not.
nope, not it's
Uh
not.
oh.
Okay. All right. Etta, continue to finish talking.
Yeah, so I understand what you're saying with the whole, Jesus Christ and everything, but
Yeah,
when
we
I'm
can
saying,
move past that and just continue on.
Oh, okay. I thought this was a platform where you could just share your honest opinion, but I'd
No,
rather not.
it is. You shared it. You felt that
Yeah, I wasn't
Angie
finished making
Stone
my statement
possibly.
though.
Oh well, go ahead.
Because I'm not necessarily talking about her signing her. So I just want to say off the industry part, like you can sign things to for whatever industry document that she signed. If you break the contract, is what I'm saying, then you have the things as such as, you know, downfalls in the industry. And that's what I mean by sign over. I'm not literally saying that she's, you know, worshiping something else.
And this is your belief. It's not proven. This is just your thoughts.
Absolutely. This is just my
Okay.
thoughts.
Exactly. Okay.
Can I is if it be okay, Etta, I hear what you're saying. One thing I will say is that though, when it comes to the music industry, I do know that you can sign things and you not know what it is, but we also have to remember if they're younger, you also have legal representation. And it is their goal that they have to step in, read the documentation to ensure that it is a viable document or that, you know, they're fulfilling everything that they said monetarily.
Right.
So
But
are there
throughout the
sometimes, I'm sorry.
go ahead. Go ahead.
Are there some times when people are going to sign documents and not know? I was in the music industry for 6 years and they made us believe one thing, even if the document said things. And there were things that we did not receive. So with Angie Stone, one thing I will say is when you sign yourself over, I don't know if her career would have lasted as long as it did if she had conformed to that or if she had given up all of those things. I really think with Angie Stone, and it goes on with a lot of artists, sometimes people have a way of using their notoriety or their celebrity and their status to kind of be able to do more, get more. I think with Angie Stone, she possibly had the right people in her corner, but I don't know if it was something that she possibly did on her end. I just think that maybe I don't know if there was a lack of information provided or if somebody undermined. It's something. And I think she was trying to tell us, because I hear what you're saying, and I think that that can happen sometimes. I just don't know if I think that's what happened with Angie Stone. I think she waited for as long as she could, and she's been trying to do what she needed to do her due diligence. And it just came to a head where it was like, I can't be afraid anymore because she just wasn't making segue. She knew who, she knew why, she knew what she needed to do, but she just didn't have the force, or she didn't have the people behind her to really back her up and to really help her get what she needed. So I hear what you're saying, but in her instance it feels a little bit different because if you really listen to her, she was very specific about the things that she lacked and that she didn't have and what she identified. The only thing she didn't do was tell us who, but she did name the actual music industry. You know, she gave you the names of the labels. And so I think with her it was a matter of, how do I now get this money? So I just wanted to mention that, not to again, you know, your opinion is your opinion. I don't take anything away from
Right.
it, but in her instance, it feels a little different for me
I'm
regarding
not saying I
Angie.
wasn't saying that that was the reason why I was explaining what Salone had said about. I was just explaining the part about Salone saying that about Angie, but I was trying to explain how I felt as though even as far as the industry in general, how this individual is kind of playing off of the rest of the people. Even like with the whole Tyler Perry situation, I know you had that topic the other day about Monique and Tyler Perry. Um, I just felt as though like it's just like certain things when it comes up to the industry, you're starting to see everybody kind of playing in in Angie's face, kind of like making a mockery out of it, even in her passing, is what I was trying to explain. I'm not trying to say that the whole thing is for, you know, that she signed her life over and this is why that happened, if that makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is anything else, Ada?
No, there's nothing else.
Okay. Puzzle, you have any questions for her?
I guess for me, Etta, I heard you say you didn't think Angie was in the van. Am I correct? Did you say that, Etta?
Yeah, I don't think that she was in the van.
What do you think if she wasn't? Because I heard a couple of people say that, and it's possible. What do you think may have possibly happened then?
Um, I don't know. I think something because there was a time lapse where there was a good time where I guess the van was accounted for. So I'm thinking that something went on with the members. I truly believe that everybody in that van know what happened. I truly believe that it was this was a planned thing. And they knew that this was going to be an event that day. I just don't think that she was that she passed from that accident. It just doesn't make sense. I feel like everybody, like, for to me, the best way for everybody to get answers is to keep pressing, keep commenting on it in the comment section of all those individuals in that van. They are going to crumble because of the pressure. And what's going to happen is they're going to all turn on each other. We're going to get a bunch of different stories. And the crazy thing is, I truly feel like if D'Angelo comes up after all of this happened, if D'Angelo comes some months from now trying to start music, make music, and do things like, and I just feel like this is going to happen. To me, all of that is suspicious. I feel like almost everybody in Angie camp is kind of suspicious to me, down to her makeup artists, the people who did her hair. If you heard this speech, I know Gigi, you said the other day that the guy said that he was tired of Angie calling. Her makeup artist said the same thing. That was weird to me.
Mhm.
Oh,
Yeah.
her baby was crying. I thought I heard a baby. Um, I mean, I can agree with the fact that I think we've all agreed that all of them are involved. And I also can agree with her that they can't get the story together. So if they start speaking individually, it's going to be a whirlwind of just so much chaos and confusion. And that's why they're so quiet. But I guess it just bothers me because it's like, what are you hiding? You were in the van. You could have been harmed, killed, injured, anything. And it's like everybody is so silent. They just can't get it together. Can't
That's
get
why I'm
right.
that's why I'm led to believe that I don't really believe the van incident, because you telling me that you risk your own life for money, because you could
Mhm.
have got injured in this event.
Mhm.
This is why it's hard for me to kind of believe.
Mhm.
I feel like it was like a crisis scene a little bit. Something happened to Angie beforehand.
Mhm.
If they check their body, like I'm sure they didn't check her body, but I'm sure she has like other bruises on her, like as if she was beaten. Because to me, it just you're not gonna have an open casket after you get hit by a semi. You're just not.
And the one thing I can say, I never saw Angie Stone's face in the casket, but I don't know if anybody paid attention. Someone had done a video and said she had a butterfly ring on, but her fingers were swollen. And that was something that was weird to me. Angie Stone had gotten really, really small. And when I saw her hands, and it's something weird about the hands, I don't know what it is, but they were swollen. And I was looking at that and I was like, not that I know what happened, but I'm a person where I'm so observant. My mom passed, she was 49. My mom had cancer, so her body was little, her hands were little. And I thought about how small Angie Stone was. And I remember I saw her hands and I thought, something about that didn't feel right. What it is, I don't know. And people can say, oh, they embalmed her. Embalming is supposed to make you look just as natural as you did when you were alive. So there were some things that don't add up to me. And I mean, I agree with that. I think all of them are in cahoots. Is there something they did to her before she got in that van? Probably so. She was probably very lethargic out of it. And the other thing is, how did all of you all brace for the accident with no injuries? How is that
Right.
possible?
That's why I don't believe it. I just, yeah, I find it hard to believe.
Let's see if Storm. Okay, I
Okay, I
still
still
hear an
hear an
echo,
echo,
Storm.
Storm.
All right. All right, Miss Harris, are you there? Thank you, Miss Etta. Miss
Yes,
Harris.
ma'am.
Okay, what are your thoughts, or what do you want to say now?
You know, I'm happy that that puzzle is back because we haven't seen you for a few days. So we're happy that you're back. I enjoy your insight. I just think we just need to keep pressing on and keep digging, until we get to the bottom of the situation. We already know that the media has lied. We already know that the police have fabricated the truth. We know that happens every day, right? Because if it doesn't happen, then I have to be held accountable for the things that I do. With that being said, just keep digging, just keep pushing this platform so, we can have that voice and, we can come together and put our brains together to really try to get down to the bottom of the situation. Because she really deserves that. She wasn't done right. The people around her weren't right. The music industry didn't do her right. As hard as she tried to, press forward and do the things that she needed to do for her to keep herself sustained, it just feels like it wasn't good enough. And then you just slander her and you take her down like she didn't even matter. That really bothers me. Like, how does a person live 63 years and then they die and it just doesn't matter? Like, nothing I did mattered. Like, nothing. 63 years is not a long time, but it's a long time to have done something in your life. So, just keep doing what you're doing, Gigi. And, as many times as I can tap in, I'm going to tap in and give my little 2 cents.
You
And
coming and
I
tapping in.
appreciate you.
Now, I want to know, Miss Harris, is there any other topics that's out there that you think that we should talk about?
Oh, we need to talk about Marvin Sapp and why he closed the doors to the church like they was in jail.
Okay, well, I will go into that tomorrow. Okay. I did put up in the post, in the live post, a lot of times, oftentimes I will let you guys decide what we're going to talk about today. And that topic, it got number 2. This got number 1, Angie Stone, and that one was number 2. So yeah.
Yeah.
Um Nikki, how's it going? Any last words that you want to say, Nikki?
Yes, ma'am. Just want to say thank you so much for allowing me to express my opinion because I've been, wanting to speak about it. I've been doing my own investigation on my own. I've been watching every last one of you all. Thank you, ladies, so much. Like, y'all are amazing. Thank y'all for having my back with this little crazy.
Yes.
Like, really, like, for real. And the main thing is that I want justice for Angie. This lady, we didn't have no blood ties, but I feel like that's my auntie. You know what I'm saying? Like, literally, I feel like she is. And, I grew up on her music, just like Miss Harris was saying, like, you can think and reminisce on those times. Like, you hear that song, Black Brother, you hear that. I hear that and I can think about so many things like where I was at that time, and we got to keep her legacy going. She means so much. And especially when it comes to, people just like taking advantage of people, just like this Negro tried to do what he did, but I'm smarter than that. I ain't gonna let him get me like that. But you have people that will do you that way because you're nice. They see that smile and then they're like, okay, yeah, I got her. Got it. But then we have open hearts to help any and everybody. It don't matter, you know. It just it means so much to me and it hits home and I ain't gonna stop until I find out what happened. And I know that the information that is being presented is coming in forms. It's like coming in little pieces. But we'll put that puzzle together and definitely figure it out. Period. And I ain't gonna sleep until I find out, you know. Period. And I thank y'all for what y'all doing. You all are amazing. I love y'all, sisters. Love y'all so much.
So much. All right.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Puzzle, what do you have to
Yes.
say?
First of all, can I say it humbles my heart that you all are so excited when I come up here. Gigi, thank you so much. I
Oh, we
appreciate
love
you.
you, Puzzle. We
Thank
love
you
you.
very much. And I apologize for my disappearance. I've been so busy with work and everything. But today I was like, I have to come on Gigi's show because I watch your videos. But what I will say is, let's not stop providing facts. There's a time and a place to just say anything, to believe anything, to spew lies. But I just feel like Angie Stone, let her be a stepping stone for so many other injustices. And if all we have to do is take a couple of hours and kind of look at the facts and understand what's going on, let's keep doing it. Why would we not? Because we can advocate for Diamond and for Michael. Hopefully they're doing things now for the right reasons. But if they're not, let's be that voice. Like Nikki said, she's like Auntie Angie. It's something about Angie Stone that was super infectious, and to see what has happened to her and they've silenced it, it breaks my heart. And sometimes when I am watching the different videos or seeing the evidence or even on here and we're talking, I sit here and I think to myself, would she be excited to know that we're spending a lot of time kind of trying to see this through? Because I just could see so much hurt and pain in her heart when she was on those lives and she was talking about what was going on. And I oftentimes think, and you said it before, Gigi, if this was our mom, our aunt, grandmother, whoever it was, we're going to go just as hard to figure it out. And so I'm grateful for a platform where you all don't get tired. And I know some people are like, let it die. But if you were in the same situation, would you want somebody to let your situation die, or would you want them to keep going until they figured it out? Because at this point, it's bigger than money. This is bigger than money at this point. This is really one of those things where it's like, it's like playing in our face. You're pretty much telling us something that we know is false. And like that gentleman that came up here today, I don't know who you are. If Lethal was truly your grandfather, cool. But you, for anybody like him, you have to stop. Everybody's saying you know her. Look, whether you knew her or not, if you're not going to come here and provide facts and add to the conversation, stop. And all of the insults and the foolishness, just stop. Just stop. It's enough going on in the world without us doing that. So, Gigi, I'm just grateful for you because every single day you've been diligent. You do your work. You put in the work, and I'm grateful for this. I really am, because what platform can you come up and really be able to speak and provide insight? I don't ask for it. I enjoy doing it. Normally, I'm not a person that puts myself out, but I enjoy this. I enjoy the purpose behind it. And I enjoy how, as a community, we're building together, we're learning together, we're growing. We have things that, like you said with Etta, we have to agree to disagree. There's no right and wrong in it, but you see it one way, I see it another way. But I'm grateful. So thank you so much, Gigi, for that. I appreciate you.
Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you. We love you. I love you, Puzzle. All right. So
Thank you.
tomorrow I will try to dive into that Marvin Sapp situation.
Okay.
Guys don't know about him. I believe he's a pastor, and he wanted his people, congregation, to donate $20 each, will total $40,000. And pretty much he said, we're going to close the doors until you guys do so. All right. So a lot of people had a lot of issue with that. And
I'm ready.
a lot of the pastors has been making a lot of news recently. I mean, I heard about another pastor that got popped by a woman. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I
In
mean, these
Memphis.
pastors are
Mm-hmm.
out of chain. I mean, they stay in the news. I get tired of seeing these pastor scandals, but it's always a pastor scandal in the news. Why
Yep.
is that, Miss Harris?
You know, it is what it is. And until tomorrow, cause baby, it's 12:48. I ain't in the mood for no tongue wrestling with nobody.
I was
And
just curious, Miss Harris. When I was growing up, we didn't hear all this stuff. I mean, we
you didn't.
on the news.
Pastors worked. Pastors worked to supply the church's
But
needs.
you wonder why people not going to church right now. Y'all playing with God, and all you
Baby.
doing is collecting money at the door. Baby, I would have kicked that door in and said, "Get your ass out the way. I don't care about no closing no door. If I want to
But
give
this
you
is
my
the
money,
thing.
I'm gonna give it to
You
you.
got a
You can't
Rolex
force me,
on. But you
baby."
have on a Rolex.
He had a Rolex on,
You have on a Rolex.
and I noticed that.
And a very expensive chain.
Miss Harris, I think I saw a picture with him with a Christian Dior jacket. What is
He
going on?
always does.
Uh-huh.
He always does.
A Christian Dior? Are you serious?
Probably driving a Bugatti and living in a 19-room mansion.
While the homeless are
Okay. And
suffering,
then you got
and
people
they
trying
can't
to get
eat.
to church on Sunday morning with no money and ain't no church vans to come and get them.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Like If you really want to talk about it, we can talk about it. Cause I love God and I stand 10 toes down and ain't nobody gonna make me
Period.
feel no type of way.
Period.
But we got
And
God and we got for play.
mm-hmm.
And a lot of things that I see is not kingdom.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just on period.
Mm-hmm.
You can't sit here and convince me, you know, tithing, you tithe what you have if you have it. But if I'm staying at the church and I'm, doing Sunday school and I'm feeding the homeless and, I'm giving of myself and I don't need to sit around and I don't need to talk about it. That's God.
Mm-hmm.
When I put stuff in my car and blankets that I get from the thrift store and I take donations and I go downtown to St. Paul's and I give out toothpaste and socks and I give out canned whether it's Vienna sausages or with them ramen cups. And I keep cases of water and hand sanitizer and mask in my car. That's kingdom because I really care about people.
You know what would
That
be nice?
crap that they got going on, I go for my motivational speaking.
The jackets that he have, like the Christian, they cost what, $10,000. They're a lot of money. And you guys
Mm-hmm.
take care of all this money. Wouldn't it be nice? Like the people that go to his church in that neighborhood, that they would just go door to door, like the Jehovah Witness, and just drop off some groceries.
Mm-hmm.
Would that be nice? Wouldn't
It
that
would
be
be
nice?
very amazing.
Going just door to door, just knocking, just sitting down some groceries. Just 2 bag of groceries. And I think you can afford it.
Yeah, you can afford it. Just like you could have took that watch off and gave that $40,000. Just like you
Right.
probably could have went home and went in your wife's closet and got a Birkin. Or asked your daughter for a donation for one of them Chanel bags.
I mean, I guess the reality is you're at the church. When it's time to give, they're going to give. If they don't, all right, we're going to bless the offering, go on about your business. But
Period.
to provide an example and set a standard for how many people should give how much, that's speaking to something completely different. And for me, because God does come first in my life, you know what I'm saying? And it's very important. I just can't play with it. It's not funny to me. And when I see it, more so than anything, it frustrates me. It angers me because it's like,
Mm-hmm.
you're finding the joy in this, but all I see is people that are starving, people that are struggling, people that are living paycheck to paycheck. And you're in the church asking for $40,000, but when there is a tragedy or a storm or the homeless is outside because it's too cold
Mm-hmm.
or too hot, you lock the doors. Well, what was the money
Mm-hmm.
for? Or when the
Mm-hmm.
people in your church are having a hard time, you dictate and specify what you're gonna give them money for and what you can't give them money for, but they pouring all their money in there. And so there's a problem in that to me. You do whatever you want to do at your church, and I have a choice to come. But when you publicize something like that, where you're literally demanding the ushers, I said close the door. Now this becomes a
Mm-hmm.
hostile environment because I, as soon as you said that, would have walked out and be like, move, like for real, move. But for a lot of people, how many times has he done that? They may feel intimidated. I saw someone in the chat say he's been doing that for a while. I think they said in Oakland he locked the doors and they felt uncomfortable. And so this is a pattern, but he's not the only one. A lot of them are doing it. And it's
Mm-hmm.
becoming just a way to kind of intimidate. For example, you think about, I hear people talking about TD Jakes. The Potter's house is here, but to sit on the floor, they checking your W-2 because they want to see how much
Mm-hmm.
you're making. And for
Yep.
me, I'm there for a different reason. I'm trying to grow in my faith. I'm trying to grow in my faith. And if I have low faith or I'm going through something, it can't always be about the money, but you're forcing me out the door because that's how you make me feel. So 1,000 people in the church give $20, and then 1,000 people online give $1,000. And if I'm doing my math correctly, that's 40,000. Why is that at the front of your mind, sir? And for the pastors, y'all put your $20 away because we weren't talking to you. For you all, y'all take out your $100.
What I think is bigger than that, puzzle, because when a person is going to church and this is their faith, this is what they believe in, this is their identity, this makes up who they are, and they are following the leader and they feel like he is close to God and God speaks through him to them.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, that is a power play. Um,
Wow.
that's a guilt feeling. If I don't give $20, I mean, what would God think of me? And
Wow.
the guilt of it, and feeling like, well, maybe that's why I'm not being blessed. And the mindset, you have to be obedient to leadership. You have to
Wow.
be obedient to a man of God, because this is the man that's going to lead you to heaven doors. This is the man that's going to lead you to salvation.
Yeah.
So, it's the pressure of, it doesn't
Wow.
matter. I have to give my last to him because my soul matters. And the house that I have, if I'm back, it doesn't matter. I can't take the house with me, but he knows God. You know,
Wow.
God talks to me through him. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
And I have to do it. And God is testing me right now. You
Wow.
know, what's more important, this $20 or me being obedient? You know?
Wow.
So, that's another major play.
Gigi, that's profound because that's absolutely
Mm-hmm.
correct. Because now what you're doing is you're making me feel guilty. Like you stated, if I don't give it, what will God think? And that's crazy because that's a superiority that that leader is having over them. That's a mind control. Like as you stated, uh-oh, if I don't do it, what's going to happen? Oh my goodness. Wow. All I can say wow was wow, Gigi, when you said that because you just hit the nail on the head with that. I think that's a lot of the ways that people think. And it's also scary. It's scary because if you've been systematically set up to follow the church from point A to point Z, because that's how you were raised and you never did anything different, you're always going to do this. And to your point, if I don't, then it's like, well, what will happen? And so you're the person that's gonna turn to your neighbor like, girl, you didn't hear him give $20. What you doing? You know you got $20. You ain't gonna do nothing but go to the restaurant. And now you're like brainwashed because of what you just
Mm-hmm.
that is crazy, Gigi. Wow.
But you know what though, trouble to the fact of what will God think? And just
Mm,
like you said, the person standing next to you watching to see if you pulled that $20 out.
mm.
And then if you don't
Wow.
have that $20, then I'm gonna go tell Sister Marianne that
Wow.
girl, I was standing next to such and so, and he asked for that $20 and she didn't give it to him. So now it's all over the church and everybody's looking
And
at you.
it's sad, and I can role play too the evil villains in the church. It
Hmm.
goes, well, Miss Harris, puzzle. That's sad. I watch Miss Harris. She get her nails done. She spent an X amount of money on her nails, and she couldn't give the man of God, our leader,
Really?
$20. I
Mm,
watch you, Miss Harris. Okay, you over there shacking up with different men and all these kids, and you can't give the man of God $20? Shame on
Well,
you.
I'm just trying to understand what me shacking up with different men got to do with me giving $20. I done
Because
gave him $50. I ain't got 20 more.
Harris, it shows that you're not disciplined in your faith. It shows that
Chill.
you lack character. It shows that you are selling out to lust. The spirit of lust and the spirit of fornication have gotten you. Okay, that
Over
now
$20?
it's
You
not about
just threw me to the wall.
it's
Over
but you just said you spent
$20.
$75 on your nails and you didn't have 20 left.
It's not about the $20. You don't understand. It's about you being obedient to God's word, to
Mm.
the man of God. You have to be
well,
obedient.
I'm just telling you I ain't got it. Go tell the Lord
That's a
I
lie.
love him and I ain't got it.
Lie. You
Mhm.
have money to get your nails done. I see that wig and you got. I see
Well,
them.
first off, I don't wear wigs. We're gonna start from the beginning. I don't wear those.
What is
I have
that?
a beautiful head of hair. But I'm just trying to understand what you got to do. Well, I ain't got it. Give him 20 more of your dollars.
That's sad. Sad. And you
Give him
wonder
20 more yours because I ain't got it.
why you don't get blessed. You wonder why.
I
But
mean,
the
I'm doing
gag of
pretty
it all
good.
is
You the
that
only one saying it. And see, and this is the problem that I have with you church people. Y'all run your mouth and think you know everything.
You don't worry about what I got. Like I said, if he needs $20 more, give him 20 more yours.
No,
But
I
the
want
gag of it
to
all,
worry about what you have and what you're doing because we look out for each other. And I don't want the evil influence to rub out on us. Satan is real, and he is
wow.
using you and other people like you to come in our church and disrespect the man of God. And how dare you sit up
Wow.
here
Well, how about this? Because I have choices today,
and
I ain't got to come back. Because
go,
whether I see you today or tomorrow, it
go.
makes me no different.
Thank you,
Miss
And
Buttercup.
Ma'am, Bertha Jean, listen, I'm good. If he
But the
needs
gag of it all
$20,
is,
go to 20 of your minions
God,
and
it's
get $1. He can
this
have his 20. Don't worry about it. Get my purse. Let me get my pocketbook. Don't forget my prayer cloth, because I'm out. This ain't that.
wait,
And
Keontae,
I'll
the
be a
gag of it
heathen for
all.
you, Miss Bertha. But you ain't tell everybody you was sleeping with Deacon Pete. Oh, you forgot to tell that. Oh, you forgot to tell that my grandmother's sister aunt seen you coming out his house at 2 o'clock in the morning.
Really, Bertha?
But your daddy at home with dementia. He can't be by himself, but you over there.
well, let me say
You
something.
ain't tell that Bertha Jean though, did you?
Miss Harris, let me say this, okay? And I'm going to make this real clear for you. That was 5 years ago, okay? And God has delivered me from the lust. God has delivered me from fornication. And I'm glad that I can sit up here and I can give a testimony because that man in front of us was the one that has helped me get through the evil spirit of fornication, the evil spirit of lust. And it's sad.
Well, how he do that? Because I done seen a lot of pastors do some freaky stuff to exhume these demons out of these Christian people,
Only
especially the ladies at the church.
not only are you nasty, but you're full of lust.
Ooh.
And I pray for you because
Well,
when
they
you
say if you don't use it, you lose it. Like I said, if you got an extra 20, you go ahead and you get that to the people.
go,
I'm gonna go and get my mind right because you done ran up my blood pressure. I'm gonna pray for you though. And God bless you, Bertha May.
okay.
But Keontae, the gag of it all, while she telling me your business, she didn't never put her 20. She didn't
I'm
never put her
sorry,
money in the.
I got a sinus infection, so I sound like I smoked 35
No,
cigarettes
you're
today.
fine. The gag of it all is Bertha done came and told your business, but
And
what really
did.
happened is she didn't put her money in either. Cause she she had it, but she running your business because she said, girl, come here. Now you know
Yeah,
Keontae
Bertha
didn't put
got
her
on
money in
me.
it.
She
Mm-hmm.
ain't had to tell my business. Ain't nobody even know I was sleeping with that man. That was between me and that man. Shell, that was good, Gigi.
I
You know
like
I
it.
love it.
Thank you, Miss Harris. All
I
right.
like a good role play. And Gigi be in it too, baby. She done
She
won that whole
do.
Oscar. Baby, she done got the Academy Award. Cause I mean, she was in it and you over there defending yourself. I'm over here like, dang, y'all doing the thing.
It's always since you been gone, she been wearing me out. Puzzle. She will role play with me, baby.
Yes.
Blood pressure be gone.
And she be in it though. She's a natural born
Blood pressure
actress.
be gone.
Mhm. Well, I enjoy you guys. I love you guys so
Love
much.
you too, boo.
I'm gonna close it out here, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. All
Tomorrow.
right.
Peace out,
All
everybody. Good night.
right. Good night.
Good night.